You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
Right. You're bloody well right. It's our turn. Anyway, there we go. Talk about fighting to get on air tonight. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah. I want to see if this email went out. Let me see. Yeah, it went. Oh, I love sending out those emails. Oh, me. Yeah, I just handed a big backhoe up the ass of a few government people. That's what I do. It's what I do. And I laugh when I do it because it's fun. Anyway, you guys want to hear what I sent? I've already got my, do not reply at royal.gsx.gov. I believe that is Windsor Castle, yeah. And, of course, there's going to be fails on this one, too, because, gosh darn, those Rothschilds don't like getting an email from me. But, oh well, it's the intent, right? Whether it bounces back or not, I don't care. Oh, look, and looks like someone in Guelph Police got their ass handed to them because they're not on the email list anymore either. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's all about the intent, It's the thought that counts, right? Anyway, there's my no reply at whitehouse.gov. Yeah. Yeah, and that's just the first round. And when do you see where this goes? Katie's on a tear. And sorry, guys, I didn't get a chance to post the links tonight. I did send it out through the blog talk. I was a little bit busy with this dragon's breath. So, tell you what. So you guys want to hear what I shared today? I am excited. I'm so excited. Just before we get on the air, and of course I'm watching the sending, because Outlook, by the way, guys, for those that created it, sucks horse dick. It really does. It's slow. It's full of junk. It's full of garbage. Slow upload. You can't type on it. You got to copy and paste everything from a Word document. So, anyway, there you go. So just for the creators of Outlook, you guys need to get a better life or change jobs or something, because honestly, I liked Hotmail. It was fast. It was efficient. You didn't have 1,000 ads popping up every time and try to move down your email list. And, I accidentally hit on one of your ad buttons. Gosh, you'd think that was almost intended. Right, so who else did we get? I went down the list. Of course, all the KRMC lawyers that I sent last year and this year too. They all got a copy, so and a few essays too and some information. So chock full of Katie goodies. Anyway, so let me see. I'm getting into the Love and Stuff room here. For those that don't know what the Love and Stuff room is, it's a Skype room. You need to contact me on Skype. Or if you know someone that's in that room, they can bring you in. Just click and drag sorry ass into the room. But you can get me at katie.renee.thompson, KATIE.RENEE.THOMPSON. Sorry, just thinking of this email. Oh God, I love doing this. Katie Goodie Bag in an email. Yep, sure is. Yeah. Oh, did I mention the fucking Pope got it too? Looks like I've got a... if you want to drag him into the room, hello there, you got to drag him up to the top part, not into the messaging. Otherwise, well, I'll send him a contact request anyway, because that's 5 planets in the 11th house. I just want everyone in the world to be my friend. Yeah, so there we go. And they're local. How's that? That's pretty cool. All right, so let me see. And this is Consular Assistance Ottawa. Of course, the British High Consulate would get it. Automatic reply. There we go again. And of course, the Registry Office in Belfast. They got their copy of it, and a little bit of reading, of course, and the entire police board, of course. And as soon as the show is done tonight, as I had mentioned to Maria last week, as well as today, we can do the rollover because I'm not doing the webinars for a while. Just need to take a break and. Change tack a little bit. It's just a lot of pressure that I don't need right now. I got enough shit going on. Thanks. Anyway, so that was for you, Kathleen. All right. So if you want in there, it's an awesome room, guys. We got some kick-ass angels in there. All yous are, but some are a little bit more verbal and vocal than others. So by all means, contact me on Skype. Skype is free. There is no excuse. Do not be afraid of it. Anne from Seattle called me again today, and she was going down to get her Skype set up because she wasn't quite sure how to do it on her phone or whatever. So make the effort. And once you get in the loop, then we can share documents and all sorts of things. And oh, by the way, Ninja, I am going to pass this document to you right now. So if you've got a few minutes, hon, if you could throw this up on the kateofgaia.wordpress.com site, you get the. Oh, I went quiet. Okay. Just a second. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Just want to make sure I'm still. I didn't hear any drop off, so let me see. No, it looks like I'm still there. Okay. There we go. And I see Carol's in the room tonight. Who else we got? Got Nav John there. Miranda. All right, I'm gonna bring Miranda in tonight too because we're gonna talk about P as well. But I'll bring you in now, Miranda. And okay, make sure I got you. Yep, there you are. And
Hello.
I'm gonna bring Carol in as well, so you guys can chat while I'm taking care of a little business. Carol, this is Miranda. Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Oh, as soon as her mic gets open.
Hi,
There.
Miranda. Hi,
There you
hi,
go. There
hi,
you go.
Kate.
Hi, baby love.
Hi, Kate, sweetheart. I
All
hope
right.
you're getting warmer weather up there today.
Oh, no, not at all. It's raining, and it's probably about, I'd say about 45 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 10 Celsius.
That's a little more than sweater weather, isn't it?
Yeah, I got my my winter coat on, my short one anyway, so I actually had my long one on last night. So, yeah, P is a very, very popular subject around here because it's your philosopher's stone. Guzzle it up, boys and girls. Open that pineal gland. All right. That's what I want to do. So, Ninja, here it comes. Where are you, hon? There you are. All right. So, carry on.
Hey, Miranda, what country are you in, honey? Are you in England?
I'm in England, yeah. In Kent, so south of London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in California in the States. It's nice to meet you, honey.
Nice to meet you, too.
Thank you. And I'll kind of back out here and let Kate go ahead with, I want to hear his email.
Yeah, me too.
I hope, Kate, you share that with us tonight.
Yes, she will share it with you tonight.
Thank you, dear.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Sound is warbly, patooey. Okay, now I'm looking at the Love and Stuff room. Can you guys hear me clearly? Just want to make sure that you can hear me clearly. Waiting. I love that dead air thing. There we go. Thank you. Yep, yes, and that's all we needed. Just a Y works too. It's clear, but yeah, I know it can get a little warbly, and I guarantee you tonight's going to be a bit of a hellhole based on what I'm going to be sharing. So Ninja, I shared the document with you, and you can toss that up. You're not showing online. Okay. Well, there's that, right? Okay. So you guys want to hear a little magic?
Mm-hmm.
This is my in-voice to the universe. Oh, that's why they call them invoices, Kate. Yeah, I know. You see what I mean? They papered over everything. So it's actually so pathetic. But this is a lot of fun because I got round one started. I want to put some of the star players on that before I start forwarding it with all their names on it. So media can contact them and ask them questions and stuff. If anyone in the media actually has any balls left. If you want a pair guaranteed to make a judge vow, just ask me because I can hardly wait to get rid of the damn thing. So, but they're guaranteed to make a judge vow. They come with a certificate of authentication and the video in which that occurred. Proof positive. Okay. No giggles, nothing? Oh my God. I thought that was funny.
No, it was funny.
Okay. Just waiting for my word started open. This poor little computer has just had the shit beat out of it today. Hammering the keyboard and trying to get things all set up on Outlook that sucks. Okay. Not loading. Nothing on Facebook. Yeah, sorry, Nessa. Tonight I didn't get a chance to post the links and what have you. So
I've done it.
Okay, thank you, hon. Because I've been literally behind the 8 ball, finishing this document today, and and of course I had it finished. And I thought, oh shit, I got to put this paragraph in, so it ended up being 2 paragraphs, and but really worth it because it's got some nice meat and potatoes in there. That's the formed vegetarian meat, not the consciousness stuff. Okay, just want to make sure. Anyway, anything Microsoft is absolutely shite. I know. Ask Billy Gates. I wonder if he had trouble as a kid when they referred to him as Master Gates. I just silly questions that Kate has for people. All right, so let me see. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. This girl needs some air. So let me do this. Okay. And I was going to use it to scroll down, but screw it. I'll just use this. Yeah, I've got the other my other computer. That's how close it was coming. It's like, okay, the puppy isn't gonna work tonight. I better get the other one fired up. And lo and behold, I think I was a minute or so late. I was just waiting for the pages to clear. So anyway, I'm rambling, aren't I? I love rambling. That means I'm excited. That's all. It just means I'm excited.
We're very excited. We can't wait.
Yeah.
Bated breath.
Yeah, the Summons of the Dead. I'm just going to fill up my tea here, and I got to go to this 60 hertz grid. It's been killing me all day here. I hate being inside. I really do. It's great when it's raining and cold and shit, but the instant I can get outside, I'm see ya. Kind of how it works for me. All right, so.
I think we have to remember not to encourage her.
Who, me? No, don't encourage me. I was going to say that works for Miranda too, by the way. That's why I questioned that. Who? Oh, me or Miranda?
Probably any of us that come on this line.
Uh-huh. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, it's raining again too. Cool. Well, it's not raining too bad, so I can. I think I can stand under the cover here. All right. And without further ado, let me see. Now I haven't got a mouse. I'll have to do it this way. Now, I've read part of this already. I think people already know that. But let me just do this. Yeah, this works. This is my full willful intent going out on the ether tonight, right now. So it's already been sent. I'll be getting a mirrored copy of it as well. I will have everything reversed. So, and of course, 3 copies of it. Just kind of bitch I am. Did I ever mention everybody? I went to a psalmist once. Somebody reads palms or palmistry or whatever they call it.
Palmistry.
Palmistry, yeah. Anyway, I remember sitting down. I don't know if I've ever shared this story, but and she explained it to me, and it was a bit weird at the time because I wasn't really that familiar with it, but it clicked today. Boy, did it click today in a very allegorical sense. Now that's within me, so the whole point of this only matters to me. But so I held my hand out to her. She said, "Give me your left hand," and I said, "Oh, there you go." And as soon as she saw my hand, she gave a little gasp and sat back. And I said, "What? Am I going to die?" She goes, "No. It's just I've heard of these. I've just never seen one." And it's called the Witch's Mirror. So it's just the way my the print in my palm. It's a mirror of itself. It's pretty cool, actually. So, Witch's Mirror, and I isn't that kind of cool? And everything. I like to burn witches in the past. I wonder why. Well, because they were dangerous. So, Kate, how are you today? Very dangerous. Here we go. Summons of the Dead. Full intent. Then we're going to talk we. Right. Be it known universally that all entities named in this summons are, in fact, dead by virtue of their own free will consent to be that name that is crown copyright. Whereas all who use that name or any variation, title, symbol thereof, thereon, and herein are, in all legal matters, legally and lawfully dead. The use of any all crown-owned copyrighted names, titles, in reference to the claimants of the aforementioned and hereafter is merely for clarification where only fictioned dead persons may commit fraud using such things by virtue... Hang on a sec. It's starting to rain heavy. What is it with... Oh, man. I know, it's crazy. And yeah, I'll have to be, yeah, I can wipe that. Sorry, guys. No sooner do I come outside that it was fine, and then it starts to rain. Rain's on the righteous, apparently, though, right?
Yeah, and it's cleansing.
It is. You know, even the radioactive, it's actually building up my DNA. I'm kind of excited about that part, too. Yeah. Bitten by a radioactive spider. Okay, so here we go. The use of any the use of any all Crown-owned copyrighted names, titles, in reference to the claimants of the aforementioned and hereafter, is merely for clarification where only fictions, dead persons, may commit fraud using such things by virtue of acts. In relation to any all legal joinder in willful knowing or ignorance of, by, for using such names, and why courts, church, state cannot proceed in any hearing with the living, they are only the dead carrying out the dead. For ease of clarification on your part, I, the living, will clarify your status, the dead, in customary common speak, where my words and intent are mine, under seal, where none may assume alternate definitions of any words herein as anything other than my willful intent. Any ignorance of the facts pertaining to language, langage, tongue pledge, solely yours where sigils are concerned. By one's actions one is known in that act, and is fully judged of self, where none other may judge lest they be judged, and where intent is exposed by all acts within self only. In layman's terms, when you commit an act of harm against another by omission and or commission, you stand judged in, of, by, and for the intent that preceded any all acts, in the instant they are created and manifested willfully by the one enacting that intent, where ignorance of universal divine law is concerned, and where the act is recorded eternally. For the less intelligent loving of you, and the more criminally minded, I will keep this as simple as possible for you, since program minds such as yours may find it difficult to grasp the notion of your own criminality and psychosis. But rest assured, you know in your own heart, and are self-judged accordingly in the eyes of the universal divine laws, that none can trespass. Please keep in mind that some of you included in this message are known pedophiles, thieves, liars, deceivers, murderers, slanderers, kidnappers, human traffickers, rapists, etc., and it matters not that I know this, but rather the fact that your own heart and mirror will prove this to yourself beyond any shadow of a doubt. As an easier and simpler example to comprehend, understand, it matters not to me that a City of Guelph police agent stole one of my father's gifts to me when he passed on, only that the one that did it is guilty and self-judged in that act regardless of all things to the contrary that may be claimed. The simple fact is, it happened, and that act can never be undone. I would love to offer forgiveness to all, but unfortunately, in the act of forgiving anyone, you have judged them as having done something wrong. Judge not, lest ye be judged, etc., as stated previously. Oops, scrolling up too hard here. Oh, I love this. Alright, let's try to move this. Good thing I'm on another paragraph. Okay, you, the dead fiction reading this, actually think you are alive, but I assure you, in the eyes of your masters, you are spiritually dead and claimed as such. Regis Stir. Whereas the attached document will clarify that fully for you. I'm giving you all back your gifts of intention under the universal golden rule, where that which you have wished upon me and countless others will be returned equally, that you may receive your just, self-judged rewards accordingly. With that, I will share with you some of the gifts that will inevitably be coming your way, and most certainly not of my hand or will. That is your own hand of will simply coming upon its own creator as your intent manifested. How neat is that? So, grab your favorite beverage and a mirror. This one is going to take a while to read, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it because it's all about you. Read it or not, I care not either way, since my intent is known by the divine universe and it's recorded under my seal and covenant, where all contracts are made, and only your seething fear of self-realization will keep you glued to this little essay, email, sealed notice, or will have you run away like a scared child that some of you have raped or aided and abetted in their being raped. Let's see if you can be as graceful in your own judgment and trials, tribulations, as I am, while some armed jarhead has his 300-pound boot on your throat, shall we? You call yourselves presidents, prime ministers, lords, ladies, politicians, mayors, police chiefs, priests, popes, kings, queens, and all manner of dead titles, while attaching another name that is a dead persona of the spiritually dead you. You hold the chains of office, posts, ranks, offices, etc. ad nauseum, further instilling your own servitude to another master. It matters not to me that all bar are able to use that crown copyright name, or not, since they are still serving another master, and I'll save your brain cells any of the known details surrounding that. That being said, let's start with the fraudulent land transfer in relation to 7 Dalebrook Place, Guelph, Ontario, Canada, N1E1A7, using all caps since we're dealing with cross-jurisdictional invasions material such as UPU/UCC, etc., shall we? To begin with, perhaps you'd like to know some of the main parties directly involved in this little fiasco, where they can see themselves in their own light and perhaps their role in this nifty little fraud. I'll keep it local since most real parties wouldn't make sense to you because you're not used to following anything but your flowcharts of crime. Yes, you're very well trained and very obedient to your programmed ego. Your masters want it that way. Since every city's mayor is a chief magistrate judge in their corporate jurisdiction, they are the ones most culpable since all activities carried out by any of their officers by proxy, since the mayors is and are the only elected judge in their jurisdiction. But then most people don't know this and are deceived via non-disclosure of this fact into giving up their consent, where I have not, thus no jurisdictional boundaries. Besides, these jurisdictions only apply to the dead fictional name anyway, where most also don't know this, save the few that do, and use this information to steal, rape, and pillage from their fellow man. Now we troops did it again. Oh, okay, at least I've got it where I can... Alright. Now we enter into interjurisdictional folly, where the mayors of Newmarket and Toronto are also involved, since the law firm KRMC is based in both of these cities, where KRMC is the prime go-to robo-signing law firm for matters of this nature. I find it ironic that they claim to specialize in fraud issues, which explains their expertise in committing these acts at the behest of their masters, Crown Church State, and their greed. What is evident by observation here is collusion and conspiracy to commit fraud, etc. That's all by 3 mayors, by of 4 in as omission commission. Every crime committed by any officer, crown agent, employee, justice of the peace, etc. at all within the corporate city jurisdictional boundaries are all answerable by 2 of 4 the highest judicial official, which is the mayor, chief magistrate-elect. Ignorance of the law, divine universal law, is not a defense of or from the law. I'm not speaking of statutes legislation, which only applies to those consenting to a dead crown copyright name. Again, no silly court game is required to expose and see the truth. Nor does the truth require your belief, inasmuch as a crime committed is thus committed, and shown in the actions of the intent after the intent to do so was created. For the more feeble-minded, here's an example of that. If you steal something from another being and you know you're stealing, or not, your intent is known in the act of the theft because you committed the act, and no court is required to prove that which you already know. This is where I leave others to reap the creations of their own intent, where they, by divine law, will experience their manifest intent via the golden rule, i.e., what goes around comes around. Such is the nature of things and creation itself. Since I can only judge and ultimately forgive myself, I cannot and will not judge another. Judge not, lest ye be judged, and I willfully grant your wish to experience your creations of intent. Please note that all dead fictional corporate crown copyright names mentioned herein will only be used as a reference since it is the living soul spirit that is reading this and I'm speaking to, where this list is not as complete as I'd like it to be. It matters not because every entity that ever referenced the aforementioned names, mistaken for me or those living souls alongside that mistaken entity, is implicated by willful knowing, commission, willful ignorance, omission, regardless. All contracts assumed, presumed of, by, for, in, at, as, etc. at all, Crown State, are created in deception, non-disclosure, fraud. Again, what is contained herein does not require your belief, where your obligation is to confront your ignorance, willful criminality, as observed in your actions and confirmed in your own hearts and minds. With the passing of my mother and father, all marriage, crown, church, state, etc. at all contracts are null and void upon their true deaths. Thus render me in clausulibus sextibus toto generi. If you don't know what that means, you will need to shake off your willful ignorance and look it up for yourself and reach beyond your very programmed mind. The bottom line is this. You have been duped into worshipping a false god via literal interpretations of the Bible which fully explains the chaos of this world. You have been duped by your own greed, ego program by a system that feeds on your willingness to sell out your beings here to satiate that greed, ego, and make cannibals of you via fiat paper, currency that is created off the bond obligations called birth certificates, and is the literal skin off our backs. You are a bank account number in the City of London, State. See CUSA bond numbers. You are surety for a bond debt obligation, where your consent to be such is mandatory for the cruise to continue. Please note that this information is given for your benefit and for the benefit of the countless media, law firms, courts, churches, politicians, etc. et al. That are receiving this little gem of truth. Oops, there it goes again. Okay, let's set the players on the stage, shall we? Let's begin with former Chief of Police, City of Guelph Police Services, Robert Davis, who set out on a campaign of control on Gregorian civil calendar date, May 26, 2010. My paper trails and files are impeccable, by the way, and never mind the countless radio broadcasts and emails, etc., where this information is also saved and recorded for your referencing enjoyment. Thus began a campaign of harassment where even the City of Hamilton Police Hate Crimes Unit joined in the fray after September 1st, 2010, where my exposing the corruption of the entirety of the system you worship was shown in Judge Vows to Sovereign YouTube video. That one is easy to find, in that many millions have seen it, and reposted it, where a simple web search on your preferred search engine will find it instantly. Inasmuch as I am genderless, I present alternate perspectives of my total genre. This harassment also came from officers of many jurisdictions, yet, suffice it to say, all involved are known by their actions, intent regardless, in commission, omission, via knowing and or ignorance, where divine, natural, universal law cannot be trespassed. The entities listed by their dead corporate fictional titles are those most directly involved, and it is only for mere reference for others that need to know them by their actions only. For a quick reference as to why they are, in fact, dead persons, visit any graveyard to see the names of those who never were deemed living by the all-capital money spellings on the tombstone. You are the allegorical zombies or the walking dead so fervently displayed in various forms of programming media, but then you are trapped in the illusions of your masters. All names that follow are connected to the living acting entity it references, acting in their roles accordingly. Mayor Karen Farbridge, Mayor Tony Van Bynen, Mayor Robert Ford, former City of Guelph Police Services Deputy Chief Brent Eden, Wellington County Sheriff, all bailiffs, clerks, justices, attorney generals, boards of police, RCMP, provost marshals, all members of the Law Society of Upper Canada, all bar members, foreign agents, citizens of the City of London State, Vatican City State, District of Columbia State, the Guelph Daily Mercury editor Philip Andrews, all KRMC lawyers, particularly Barbara Dam, handler thereof, Police Constable Craig Nye, attempted murder with intent, me and my daughter, under the orders of former Chief of Police Robert Davis, and who was directly involved in all incidents in the corporation of the City of Guelph. Interesting. All members City of Guelph Police Service by association, various numerous other corporate city police services in collusion association by virtue of their sworn oaths to Crown State Church, former bank manager Nora Detler, Bank of Montreal, Prime Minister Stephen Harper, Liberal MP Frank Valeriot, Governor General David Johnstone, former Pope Benedict, Pope Francis, President Barack Obama, Queen Elizabeth, Windsor, Hanover, Guelph, Rothschild, etc. ad nauseum. If you have ever received my emails notices prior, then it also implicates you and so many more that do not even know of their crimes via ignorance. Oops. There's that non-absolution word again called ignorance, from which no one can escape. There is no dispute in what has taken place. The acts are now eternally known, and there it goes again. There is no dispute in what has taken place. The acts are now eternally known and are owned by the actors involved, where they can only judge, forgive self, where I cannot, lest I trespass on your feeble choice to experience the manifestations of your creations, and experience them you will at some point, where I am neutral. Indeed, the universe works in mysterious ways, and all things for a reason, all things in time. Inasmuch as the metaphorical persona of Pontius Pilate washed his hands, the blood was there forever from its causation. Things you can look forward to enjoying are partially listed as follows, but be assured I know, by observation without judgment, all of which I experienced in the now moment, instant of past, present, future. I give back the gift of having my family torn apart, having my home stolen via fraudulent land transfer and enacted by an armed gang of home-invading thugs called SWAT. Loaded weapons with one in the chamber is intent to commit murder, proven by the full lead ammunition outside your Geneva Convention. My car and truck stolen, being kidnapped at gunpoint not once but twice by non-uniformed and uniformed gang members, robotic automatons respectively, being hounded and tailed incessantly. I back the gift of having thousands of dollars. Please note that any reference to fiat money is only for your limited perspective where true life force, creative energy is concerned, and your lack of comprehension as the money mentioned is, in fact, slave skin, as I explained previously. thousands of dollars worth of stored food. May you experience someone else helping themselves to your best tools, scuba gear, coin collections, silver, gold, banknote collection, left to your will, spoken, written. Or how about the brand new laptop stolen the day it was bought and brought to you by a friend prior to the second kidnapping by an armed gang mistakenly claiming to be peace officers. You can look forward to having your bar and wine racks emptied, rolls of coins stolen, your house ransacked by armed goons, and strangers going through all your personal items. Having those personal items dumped unceremoniously into boxes and loaded onto an Atlas van lines, complicit, and then be extorted for a few $1,000s just to get it back months later. You'll get to experience nearly freezing to death as well, right after your home is stolen at gunpoint. Let's see how you can handle having people from Atlas van lines dump garbage on your floors as they help themselves to your canned beverages, food, etc., as they dump your belongings, garbage, etc., into these boxes for you to open later. Let's see how well you handle being caged like an animal while a SWAT team smashes in your door where your loved ones are for the crime of exposing mortgage fraud, mortgage, death pledge. What did you think it meant? By all the banks that are ultimately your masters and handlers. I wonder how you'll feel being tailed constantly and harassed constantly by those that you were taught to believe were the ones you could turn to and end up being very armed thieves they purport to keep people safe from. I mean, really, who are you to call? Let's see how you fare being terrorized for 28 days in solitary confinement for exposing corruption on the grandest levels. I wonder how you'll fare being drugged with lithium in the team bed to make sure you're not thinking clearly for a court. Are you ready to be abandoned by all those people you were trying to help and be demonized by local media that twists and distorts truth as good as Phil Andrews? Unfortunately for you, you'll have to deal with the truth eventually, where your blatant ignorance and mind control programming and greed has you owned another master. None are more enslaved than those who think they're free. There we go again. Excuse me. None are more enslaved than those who think they're free. Don't you know? How well will you fare losing family members during these attacks? How will you react to politicians like Frank Valeriat lying to your face, but then what can you expect from a lawyer anyway? They're trying to lie from the get-go. That's the nature of their game. What do you know of QSIP numbers and CAFR accounts, or of surety bonds, bid, performance, labor, and payment bonds, that the courts have waiting in ambush where all they need to cash them in is to get the consent to be the name? Did you know that the action on each signature line means without consideration, and you get to host party, parasite, under CC 3-419? The simple truth is that the entire system is a scam with a very few in the know, and they don't let people wake up to it. It's on the information I was sharing would have benefited all involved, but they were too stupid, lustful, ignorant, and greedy for the weekly scraps paper for the paycheck. At least you know your price for selling out, and the price of your willing ignorance and or criminality. The long and short of it is that you are legally, lawfully dead in the eyes of the system, bar society. Will you be able to stare down judges who know their per diem crimes and crown prosecutors like DeVos who can't even look you in the eye because they know they're committing harms against another? Will you be able to see the fear in the court members' eyes as they're getting called out for these crimes as you stand there in shackles? How will you fare being sexually assaulted, raped by armed thugs as they grope every inch of your body in search of anything with a name on it, since that is the prime directive? No name, no game. Did you know that prosecute means do not pursue, and why these criminals must get people to consent to being a name? See, you are that ignorant or criminal-minded. Let's see how you feel when some incompetent lead detective, I like to refer to as Kevin Slickdick, writes something about you, having never met you, claiming that you're somehow a threat to others, while he can't even fill out court paperwork where he tried to ban himself for 5 years from owning firearms. For me, that counts as moron and verified by a judge at my bail hearing, where even she said she'd never seen that level of incompetence in her court. Why do you think they call it bail? You simply miss the intent and are ignorant of who the system worships. You may want to look up bail, because if you don't worship bail, you don't get bail. Imagine how you'll feel when you have a bailiff that knows you but cannot serve you court documents because he also knows how the game is set up to entrap the unwary. I can't imagine the level of being sold out and how just doing my job justifies willfully and knowingly harming another by your actions and sleep well at night. What's really neat is I have video of Steve acquiescing to knowing I wasn't the name, and a couple of City of Guelph police services who also tried and failed with a summons for the dead name ended up served to a rock in my front yard on video. Talk about idiots, eh? Alas, just further proof of a programmed criminal intent, mind in action. What is funniest, though, is that sane beings, actually listen to these automatons in flesh in ridiculous costumes that are supposed to give them secret powers. I wonder how long you'll stand in the face of this insanity when you finally know full well the nature of the game. I will ponder your reactions to being in a cage next to someone who just murdered a 12-year-old child, where you will be treated the same way as that psychotic murderer. When you finally wake up to your master's illusion, and how you've been aiding and abetting them in the cannibalizing of yourself, your family, and the rest of mankind, will you continue or seek amnesty in action by willfully defying it? How will you feel finally knowing you're supporting your own demise and that of all around you by sucking at the tits of the whore of Babylon commerce, where the mark of the beast has been your name all along? You don't believe me? Try existing in Babylon without your dead persona, name, mark of the beast. Alas, most of you have fallen for the literal Bible translations versus the real truth within, for only those with eyes to see it can. Please continue in your lunacy, paying homage to funny-dressed people claiming to have some power over you because of the outfits they adorn themselves with, be it judges, pope, clergy, priests, ministers, or any manner of ridiculous titles. Please stay willfully, ignorantly entrenched in the Savior program that owns your minds and hearts, but rest assured, no one is coming to save you. That's your job, silly. Your rampant support of crimes against humanity are duly noted every time you drop paper, flesh, spirit into the collection trays of the very criminals that own your churches, synagogues, mosques, governments, banks, etc. at all. But most of all, they own your mind, body, and soul, and your insatiable desire to feed on others is far more nefarious than your feeble minds can fathom. You are owned by your star-dumb, whiz-dumb greed, lust, in your divided conquering. A measure of your feigned power is neutralized easily with the simple question, who do you answer to? I answer only to myself, for my destiny is of my choice, and most certainly not one that worships your true God, money, mono-eye. Alas, you missed the clues in your willful ignorance and criminal intent. Every single harm you do and have committed with intent knowingly and or in willful ignorance is your creation, your manifestation, where only you can reap that harvest, and the culling is upon you now. Such is the golden rule, where all stand under. After all, it was a City of London State Bar member that told me once, here it is all about contract. Unfortunately, programmed minds, hearts such as yours, can only think in paper contracts. Did you not know that your signature, is merely the physical manifestation of your willful intent? Caveat emptor, as the saying goes. Every contract you signed, involves your consent, though an offer made in fraud is null and void, nunc-pro-tunc. Please don't take my word. All these things are easily verifiable, and I'm sharing these truths every single day with countless tens of thousands around this insane by religion planet. Yes, the number is climbing exponentially. Such is the effect of willful intent to do so. No, the Savior program of all religions created by Rome, Vatican City State, and their bastard creations of commerce, or of Babylon, has you worshipping external idols, and you will have harmed countless people, beings, by your actions to satiate your greed and bloodlust, to empower the very masters that will inevitably destroy once your usefulness in ignorance is complete. Yes, I will wonder how you will handle the complete destruction of your realities of illusion once they come crashing down. When you ask yourself, why did this happen to me? At least now you'll know, and the pendulum has already started to swing back with a vengeance created by you. Or haven't you noticed? Do I need to mention that every... Oops, there it goes again. Do I need to mention that every piece of work has had mistakes all over them? Never mind the document that magically changed from Monday, February 13th, 2012, when the email with the scanned from received copy was sent to concerned fraudsters, to be mysteriously corrected when printed same email Thursday, February 13th, 2012. I must say, aka Slick, that your face went extremely white when I asked you about that in the holding set after my second time being kidnapped. You can't have mistakes in your realms now, can we? I would explain, but unfortunately most reading this think reality is real, and the truth of your ability to grasp this juncture. Let's say scientific range of fiction. Besides, it was you, Kevin, that wrote the slanderous hit piece to one of your crony judges that got this whole mess rolling anyway. I find it beyond humorous that someone who can't even fill out a standard court form can be trusted to make a real-life assessment about someone they've never even met, but then that's how you guys roll. Perhaps you and Brent Eden should have a chat as to why he retired so early into being deputy chief. I believe 3 years is the mandatory minimum for a retirement package, so Brent had to keep his marbles together, his mouth shut, even though he was in extreme depression once he was told by Davis what was really going on, eh? You may also want to have a chat with OPP Deputy Chief Vincent Hawks as to how he acquired his recent vacation property for 160 less than question mark. Of the court now consulting Inkster Group. Nope, you won't likely find the paper trail easily either. Birds of a feather flock together. Let's just say a little bird told me, and one of the joys of being an investigative journalist and broadcaster, everything crosses my path to meet eventually. Perhaps some of the media getting this might actually grow early and start asking the tough questions again. Then old school journalism, where one actually seeks the truth. Alas, I think there are a few of you left, but let's see if there are others, shall we? Besides, I'm not concerned with who gets this little message, merely that the seeds of truth get scattered globally just to see what grows. It does not matter what can be proven, only that which is already true, and known by those committing the crimes against humanity, eh? The truly empty robes, gowns, uniforms, and suits you wear are as clown suits, just another bread and circuses show from your masters that you gleefully perform all manner of tricks for treats, without ever even asking like. Let's see if you can spot the allegory versus the nonsensical literal versions being puked from pulpits of every religion while you swear your oaths to your masters. But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You have a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, and cumin, but you have neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. Woe to you, experts in the law, because you have taken away the key to knowledge. You yourselves have not entered, and you have hindered those who were entering. Woe to you, blind guides! You say, if anyone swears by the temple, it means nothing, but anyone who swears by the gold of the temple is bound by that oath. Yes, you are the ones referenced here, the thieves, liars, murderers, rapists, defamers, pedophiles, the sucklings on the tits of your whore of Babylon with your mark of the beast identity, names, titles of offices, chains. You only have your mirror now, since you are the truly forsaken of the merchants of Venice who seek pound of flesh nearest humanity's heart, while you avoid the church-state crown Vatican illusions. As the old saying goes, speak for what you wish for, and I grant your wishes fully under my seal. That you all manifest in creation with intent be given to you to fulfill your will in your mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall indeed. One can only be seen the light of others, and my light shall bring you forth for all to see. I mean, hey, I told Rob Davis et al. That I will make them world famous. Actually, I promised that, so I'm just keeping my word and my promise to all involved. I'm like that, and the truth is... Sorry, there is no one to save you. What kind of solutions and certainly that can be given. These are all yours to deal with, where actions speak louder than words, where the intent is seen and known to all. Have a nice day. I, who shall not be named, under seal. Merry Christmas. It's a little early, but hey.
I'm quite blown away and emotional about all of that.
Yeah, a little bit of intent there, right?
Yeah, totally intent, and the fact that it's so easy to understand, and you know what I mean when I say when it's in their speak, is what I love about it.
I like using a bit of both, give it a little smattering, right?
Yeah, because
yeah.
I understand all of that, and really the feel and the meaning behind that totally and utterly.
Mm-hmm.
And just the very fact that you read it out, how many people that's going to, how many of them is that going to penetrate, whether or not they read it anyway. That's what my intrigue of the whole thing is.
It's all about intent.
Because that's really, and it's so powerful. I feel quite moved.
Good. That's kind of the intent, right? It's about, hey, yo, wake up. You want to set the record straight, but that's going to be entirely up to you. It's got nothing to do with me. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do.
That was brilliant, Kate. It really was brilliant. A lot of thought, a lot of evidently honest things that happen there that you put out on the table. But you know, as you said in that document, it doesn't matter if they read it and understand it. It's out in the universe, and it's going to be very powerful. The ripples are going to go out just like throwing a stone in the pond, you know.
Oh, just wait till you see when the major networks start getting it. I'm just going to start hammering this out, a few hundred a day. Just keep it going, keep it rolling. I'm going to start asking some questions. I'm going to keep forwarding the same emails so all the emails are up so everybody can see who gets it. You know? Yeah, there's going to be a few people showing up tomorrow going, shit. There's going to be a few going, I did not know that. And they're going to start looking. The seeds I'm after. I don't care about anything else. I plant seeds. That's a similar intention to exponential creation. I plant the seed. Let's see what grows.
Pretty big trees by the looks of it.
Well, we're going to get some bamboo shoots, you know, that shoot up in 6 feet in a day, or take, you know, some oaks there as well that take a generation or two. But that's okay. There's going to be enough going out there, and again, it's all about the intent, and this is the one point I can't drill hard enough to all you gods out there. You are the unknowing absolute creators of this co-creation, and they're stripping you of your power by deception, and it's all gathered up in all those courts and churches and synagogues and mosques, where everyone goes in willy-nilly and goes, oh, I love your God, I love your God. Now that energy gets focused where? Well, we talked about that last night. You know, there's probably a few other places, but I just find it interesting that the Vatican is so focused on Orion. You know, so bottom line is this, wherever the energy is going, stop. Just stop. Your fraud's revealed. Game over. And who do I think I am? Be able to say that? Well, I know who I am. I am you. And the best part? I'm God. Like you. Like everyone. Like everything. It's all in the mind of the all. I'm just changing my mind. This perspective of it anyway. So, and there's parts of our consciousness that we just won't have time for anymore. So it's not about, you don't need to worry about judging and doing all the rest of it. Those parts of the consciousness that do not want and do not need simply be erased as if they never were. Nunc pro tunc, now for them. And that's the thing that, these lustful entities that go around, like, honestly, the visuals I have of some of the Guelph cops that I know, and the crimes that they've done, not just to me, but to countless others. I mean, there's this one big fat sergeant. He was at the court hanging out. He was actually in the court the day the judge bowed, and him and a couple of his boys were outside, and they were absolutely powerless to do anything. They were spinning like chickens with their heads cut off. Like, what do we do? What do we do? I can't do anything. Well, what do you mean? See, dopey? See how powerful you are? And look at you. Good dog. Sit. Roll over. Oh, play dead? You already are. I can't help you. I mean, sorry, Lazarus. the only Lazarus that will wake up, and that's what the allegory is, the waking up from the dead. The Christ consciousness waking you from the dead. The allegories are all there. Even, what's his name, St. Stanislaus. Same allegory. About going back and pulling someone out of the ground to testify in a court. That's how I track down the background to the Clausula Sextantibus to verify it all. Clausula Libus Sextantibus. That's the invocation of the cross. They got a copy of that. They got a copy of the long and short of it. I who will not be named, and of course the registry fraud letter. So it's going to be interesting, some of these people, and I know they're going to read it, because anytime they get anything from me, I know they read it. I've sent them so much shit, and it's like, and given all the crap that they pulled, the devil just came knocking on your door. Tick, 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 tick. How does it feel? See, here's the difference. We don't need guns. That's for weaklings. I don't need tools outside of me. All I need is me. That's all you need. And that's all we got to do. When are you going to stand? And that's it. It's pretty cool. So, hey, you want to talk about we now?
Yeah, let's talk about the we.
Yeah, more solutions. All right, we just straightened out the universe. Let's straighten out ourselves. So, Miranda, why don't you kick off, and because you're way better versed at it than I am. I mean, I'm a practitioner and all, but hey,
Where shall I begin? How shall I start with how I started?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Because your story, I mean, you've been in it for about a year now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
well, funnily enough, and I think this probably happens to quite a lot of people, we had the book, Boom Boom, by John Armstrong, The Water of Life. My mum had that. And I remember sort of back in those dark recesses that my mum did do urine therapy. You know, it was known in my psyche. And I don't know sort of in a way how it gets forgotten, but it obviously did. And then years later, I think it was, I came across a video of Andrew Norton Webber and Lisa Harrison. And Andrew Norton Webber really is the main dude on distilled water and urine therapy and making it really popular. I mean, he's really, we owe so much to him of how he's bringing it so to light. And he's actually writing a book at the moment and putting together lots of people's testimonials of what has happened to them since they've drunk wee. So there's going to be real proof out there of what it's done. Not that there isn't already, because there's masses actually proof. And I watched that incredible video, and I must have watched the one with Lisa Harrison that he did. It's about an hour and a bit long. Probably even 10 or 15 times I've watched it. And I will still go back and watch it again and again, because every time I watch it and hear it, I learn something new on a deeper level, on a bit that I didn't catch the first time. The fact that it is urine that actually builds our bodies. That is what amniotic fluid is. That is what we are in. That is what we're swimming in. That is what we're breathing in for the whole 9 months we're in our mother's womb. That's what it is. For the first 3 months, it's her urine, and for the last 6 months, it's our own. And it is literally liquid DNA, and it is making our bones and shaping our bodies and building us. So when you take that parallel of what it can really do, there is no reason, I believe, why couldn't it, you know, rebuild a limb if you lost a limb. You know, it's miraculous for cuts. Back last year, I cut my finger really badly with a very sharp knife. I was stupidly eating a coconut, and I dug the knife in and I cut across my middle finger right the way down to the bone. And I knew straight away, oh God, that's really bad, because it didn't bleed for quite a while. And you always know, uh-oh. And then my finger just sort of fell apart, fell open, and I probably needed at least 5 stitches in that finger. But I don't do hospitals, I don't do doctors. And I thought, right, what am I going to do? And I thought, right, great, I'll just pee on it. So I made a little compress and I covered it up. And almost straight away, it started knitting it together. I had to drive up to London to a court case. So I just kept going in the loo and peeing on my finger. And then I let it just air dry. And I'm not joking, within a week, you know, I had a bit of a scar. It stayed numb for ages. And even now, so this is almost not quite a year, it's still slightly tender on that top bit of skin, but there's hardly a scar. And I'm convinced if I'd had any other treatment done, that those nerves would never have come back. You know what I mean? I think they would have stayed permanently numb, and I probably would have just had a dead finger, because I went right down to the bone, right through the tendons. So that was absolutely miraculous. I've been stung in the woods, and I pee straight away, put a bit on, and take drink a bit in the woods, and straight away the sting's gone, and I don't get stung or bitten again. It is miraculous. If you got stung by a snake, Andrew Norton Webber's allergic to wasps, and he now will just drink his pee straight away if he gets stung, and he doesn't go into anaphylactic shock. And it was very serious. He used to actually have to be taken into hospital and injected because he would go into anaphylactic shock, and he's actually cured himself of that. So it is instant medicine, absolutely. So, you know, cut yourself, boom, instant medicine. Get stung, instant medicine. It is the homeopathic remedy to whatever you need at that precise moment. And it is so about being in the now. It's not the past, it's not the future. It is constantly exactly what you need this very second. That's what I find so amazing. And to me, it is the alchemical marriage of truly finding those parts of yourself to truly love yourself.
Agreed.
You know, I really understand that I love myself. And I obviously never did before, really, truly. You know, I care about my body. I care about what I put into it. And it completely changes that whole ethos of the importance of you, that you are sacred. And this is where the expression, the Holy Grail, comes. You know, we are the Holy Grail. We are the holy vessel because we carry the water of life.
Sorry, no, I'm here. I was muted, so I was just checking a few things as well. Absolutely. I mean, we can talk about Dave. I mean, Dave has had he did the 40-day urine fast.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, I think we talked a little bit about that last night, but for those that didn't get it, Super Dave. Yeah, I remember talking to him a couple of years back about the Book of Aquarius, which is how to make the Philosopher's Stone. And, of course, it uses urine. That's what the Philosopher's Stone is, go figure. And he was, you know, like, absolutely fascinated with it. And I think I don't know if it was that. I know he was already interested in it. If that was what really kind of set him on his path.
He got set on his path. He was at one of the festivals with I think he was with about 4 or 5 of his long-term friends, and they just went into a tent because there was a woman talking about pee, and I think they all went in there for a bit of a laugh, really. You know, a bit of a jokey laddie laugh and thinking, oh, well, we're listening, you know, but what a load of old rubbish. And it was Sylvia Chandler, and that's another really good person to look at on YouTube, Sylvia Chandler. If you put in her name and Zen, I think several videos come up with her, and it's from a female perspective. And she's been telling people for over 20 years to use their urine, and she's seen it cure absolutely everything. She's really amazing as well, wonderful woman, and she gives her phone number on the end of that video, so if anyone wants to talk to somebody who really knows their stuff, you know, she's very available. She makes herself available. But they went in and listened, and they were so bowled over by this woman's enthusiasm and just resonated with the truth, you know, because when you hear something and you know it's right, you just know it's right. So they all went back and tried it, and all of them still to this day drink their urine. And it's changed all of their lives. One of his friends used to have very difficult problems with depression and a difficult childhood. And since he's drunk his pee, he doesn't get depressed anymore. Things that really, you know, he's realised now he used to get very angry and do things and then have to apologise for them, and sometimes, you know, suffer for years that he did things that he shouldn't have done, and he felt ashamed for them. Once he started drinking his urine, he started exploring and looking at medical conditions, he discovered that he had an adrenal problem which works with the kidneys, and so he'd go into these anxious things and get angry because of this adrenal problem of anxiety and then frustration and getting angry. And of course, once he started drinking his urine, that didn't happen anymore. I mean, it's completely changed his life. And he's on one of the talks with Sylvia Chandler. He gives his story, which is incredible. And Dave lost masses of weight. I mean, he was quite plump. I mean, I can't remember. I think he lost 6 or 7 notches on his belt. His asthma from childhood completely sorted out. He had been allergic to annual fluff. That's sorted out. He'd had a problem, I think, with his Achilles heel. He'd had something done on his foot, and it had always been a bit sore, and he was always aware of it, but he put up with it. And literally, within days, it completely mended. It was gone. There was no pain anymore. He was able to, you know, run down the road and not even build up a sweat. You know, more energy than he'd ever known. You know, it is absolutely incredible how it completely changes your life.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, it's my own doing it. See, that's the thing is, with me, as soon as I know something, that's everything clicks, it feels right, and thinks right all at the same time, and I go right to it. And that's what I'm saying, you know, when you're saying about people needing proof of this and proof of that, proof of the other. Now that's the ego that needs that. If you just ask yourself the question, and it's all pure logic, and of course, anything coming out of you, okay, not anything, but urine. That's why there are two vacating points in your body. One is for waste, and one is for creation of life. Take the hint. Get it? Okay. All right. Now I'm just saying, it's kind of the same places that babies are created. There might be some life there, just that kind of felt right. And again, your body has its own cures. That's what your kidneys are all about. We mentioned this last night about, especially you Librans out there, that's, the kidneys are the scales. And the body, in its own process, knows what's wrong with it, knows what's up with the DNA program. And all it's begging for is the tools that it builds for itself to be put back in. Right? So that's all it takes, right? So I'm still trying to get my mouse to work here.
Other things that it does, if you've got grey hair, within, several months your hair starts going back to its original colour.
Yep.
It heals you on such deep levels. And quite often people who think they're quite well, they'll have a little bit of crisis maybe 10 to 14 days in, and then they'll see really old, deep issues that they may not have had since childhood come back and maybe haunt them, because disease and yucky things within the body, they're like parasites. They want to stay there. They don't want to be bumped out, but urine bumps them out. And if you can't face doing urine, then get on distilled water, because that's the other interesting thing. Urine is distilled water. Yeah. Distilled water from the machine will work as well as urine. Not as quickly and not on such deep levels, but it will have the same impact. And if you can't face doing your urine, you can work on that way. But I would say, once you've tasted your essence, how can you not want to taste who you are?
Exactly.
And on an emotional level, early on when I was doing it last year, a friend phoned me up and she was a bit difficult with me on the phone. And my pee had been absolutely as clear as anything, beautiful, didn't taste, didn't smell or anything. Had a pee, and as soon as I lifted it to my mouth, I thought, oh, that's funny, that smells funny. And I tasted it, and it tasted off. And then I suddenly realized where the expression comes, you've pissed me off. And my pee had turned mushy because I'd been in that emotional space. Again, I witnessed it when my cat died back in October last year. I'd gone up for sauna, really to have a big cry and, get some water, on me, around me for a bit of comfort. And I was having a shower and I thought, oh, I must taste this because I'm weeping and I'm very sad. I want to know what that tastes like. And it did taste of utter sadness. But it was also very helpful because it helped me get through that experience of letting that go. I went through that emotion and it went. It wasn't like I was holding on to, how we hold on to our past, how we, try and bake our futures. It brings you very much to the present, to the here and now. And, I'd love to try experiments with it. I mean, there's so many things one could experiment. If you're in partnership, trying all sorts of things, be very interesting. If you're living in communities, if regularly that community shared a bowl, obviously of just water, but if everybody in that community put one drop of their pee in, one homeopathic drop, and all drank from that bowl, you would all be on exactly the same page. And would that not help, say, misunderstandings? It would bring you all to the same place. I think it'd be, if you've got problems, that's what peace talk should be about. That is what a peace talk should be. No peace fight, sharing your urine and getting on the same page of where everybody's at.
Yep. Again, you're dealing with, now we're getting onto the energetics of it, you're dealing with stem cells, which are pure DNA.
Yeah.
They will go to anywhere your body needs it. And your body knows exactly where they need to go. This is the thing. It's a perfect universe. It's fractal. your body works in the same manner as the Earth rotating around itself and the sun. You don't have to think about it; it just does it. You want some proof of that? Well, when was the last time you were aware that your heart was beating for you? Imagine if you had to think of all the processes yourself.
Yeah.
Really. You set the that's why they're called programs. Set the program, and it's about exactly the same way as building a computer program. So there's another show coming up regarding that and some of the layouts of the Egyptian centers. I forget who sent it to me yesterday. It was a link. Might have been from here that sent it to me. And I thought it was rather interesting. And again, it was just more of the, check that out. But again, the most critical thing to realize is that's your now moment. And the whole concept you were just sharing there is exactly how we get back into being telepathic with each other. The perfect way to, with married people, or I hate using that word. It's such a divisive word. People that are actually loving each other. Boy, you'll get on the same page right bloody quick. So it's all good. We have Brian and/or Helen. Who's on tonight?
Sorry, I was running for the mute. It's both of us.
Hey, hi kids. How are you?
Good. Hang on. Helen needs headphones.
Okay, no worries. We'll hold up the whole show just for you guys. Of course
just ignore us. Just ignore us.
Okay. Yeah, you know how serious I take the show. Just a sec.
You are the resistance to fear porn.
Okay? So, bring it up a notch, will you?
It's Helen. Hey, Kate.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Excellent. And, I have to do a great big shout-out to Colin. I got your Skype message. Woohoo! You're going to notice huge differences within days. The other things that have taken longer, like the gray hair, it goes away. Trust me. It does. Bye. See you later. And your sense of well-being exponentiates. And, I know when I wasn't being diligent, you get caught up in too many, headspaces and whatever. And you ride the emotional roller coaster, and I do that kind of deliberately as well, because I want to be able to experience through things so that I can get the pearls out of it, right? So it's if you're a pearl diver, you gotta dive deep sometimes, and it might actually hurt to get those pearls, but when you come to the surface, there you go. There's your allegory. So that's what that's all about. But I can't rave enough about it. And I do bring it up from time to time, and I bring it up for a reason. And there you go. There's your elixir of life. There's your fountain of youth.
And energy-wise as well.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things I don't recommend is don't be ingesting too much before you're going to go to bed.
Because you won't.
You won't.
But then that might be cool too.
Well, exactly, But you've got all your own DNA building blocks. I mean, your DNA is yours, no one else, right? That's why pharmaceuticals are so dangerous. It's like Jeremiah. Next time, anything at all, my friend, urine. Stay away from the biohazards. Seriously, just stay away. You're killing yourself. So there you go. So you guys feel like a tune?
Yay.
All right. I'm going to do a tune. Oh, here's Ninja. We'll get Ninja in first.
And I was hoping that Cole was going to show up. Cole's listening in. Cole, come on and tell about your experience with the pee. Because he takes his piss all the time.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Ninja, you're up.
Yeah, hi Kate. Hi everyone. Hi Miranda.
Hey honey bun.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw my two penneth in and say that I drink urine all hours, day and night, before bed, middle of the night when I get up, whatever. I can sleep on a washing line. I sleep all the time. Whenever I hit the pillow, I sleep. So it doesn't affect me that way personally, but I can imagine how it might with some people give them too much energy to sleep.
Yeah, I'm speaking more of people new to it, where it's a rush. It really is.
I don't remember having that.
I did.
I've been about 6 months with it, maybe less. I can't remember anymore when I started. But I don't remember having that. I do remember the comfort. There was a very, very I obviously noticed a sense of comfort when I first drank the urine. And I've had that every time since. So,
I think that's what's interesting about, I was talking about this with Cole today. If you imagine, so initially we're in the safety of our mother's womb, surrounded by we. And now we're outside of our mother's womb, but putting we inside of us.
Exactly. And
it's like you're inside out in the womb.
Well, it just makes total sense.
Yeah. That it is
as within, so without, as without, so within.
Yeah.
That's a divine law.
It's a beautiful thing, you know. I mean, I didn't have the aversion. I do understand some people really struggle with that. I didn't have that. And my first experience of it was, a sense of relief almost, a sense of going, I don't want to say going home because that's nonsense in a way, but it kind of felt just good, you know. And I've had that every time I do it, it feels the same. If I'm stressed, which I really am not stressed so much these days, probably because of that. But if I do feel a bit stressed or frazzled or something, and I go to the loo and have the urine, it immediately just takes that away.
Yeah.
You know, I'm much calmer since I've been on that. And I wasn't an erratic mental character anyway, but I'm much calmer. So I highly recommend it for so many reasons.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Certainly a lot calmer, and one of the things that I've been noticing with me over the last, I guess I started late last summer, shortly after I talked to Miranda actually, and definitely calmer and much more resolved in that calmness, and less apt to take anyone's shit, if you know what I mean, in a calm sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I have to take the chance out, but that's just me mirroring whatever's coming at me, and it's like, hey, how do you like it? how do you like you?
That.
Yeah, how do you like you now?
Sorry, Kate.
No, you know me, I just keep talking.
We're talking at the same time and keep pausing to talk. I've noticed that in my home, it's a lot less, for me, I don't know about the others here, but for me, I'm a lot more relaxed about everything that used to really irritate me. I'm much more relaxed. I can do it. The issues may very well be the same, but I'm handling them very differently. And it's easier for me, and I hope it's easier for everybody else, because, you know, it just feels like it's a lot less disturbed, the energies. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're balancing out, right? Again, think of where it comes from. It's coming from the kidneys, right? And there's your balance, your Libra within. You know, we have all 12 zodiacs inside of us. Okay, the one that you're manifesting as when you came here is definitely a big part of you, but you still got all 12 zodiacs in you. So you better understand the signs and what they're about and what parts of the body they affect. You know. Again, this is a complete knowledge of the universe, which is you. I mean, this is why there was so much. The Bible and the Quran, all these books went so into detail with the human body and with the astrotheology. They didn't teach that in church, so they just taught the literal. They didn't teach the allegories, and that's exactly what these books are. They're perfect now books if you know how to read them. You know, unfortunately, you got these clowns in their freaky little costumes. You know, seriously, if that's the emperor with no clothes. Only they're wearing these clothes, and it's like they have to get up in the morning. And I bet you they don't drink their weed. They're too busy, you know, killing kids and stuff and planning up new wars. Oh well, raping the kids.
Oh,
whatever.
you made me laugh.
I'm just being honest. You know. Okay. No, okay, I'll put a song on then. Just play it safe, Cat. Play it safe. Never.
You need my Child Eater Pope T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all need one of those. That sounds fantastic.
That sounds awesome.
I had to make it myself. It was when the Pope was in New York a few years ago. But it's a good shirt.
No kidding, man. That you got yourself a very marketable thing there. I mean, if you're into the horror thing, but you know, wow, yeah, Child Eater Pope shirt, love it. All right, so I guess on that happy note, what'll I play? What do you guys want to hear? Anything in particular?
Rescue?
Oh, okay. Now we're going. Okay, we'll play that one.
I can't remember the name of the the one that I really, really love. It's not one that you play a lot. I'll have to go into your thing and find out and say for next time. But
okay, well I can tell you that there's not that this is 18 songs in here. So I've got "You're the Sun to Me," "Wondering," "Wings of Love," "Why Daddy Cries," "Shadow Road," "Refuge," "Pretty Eyes," "Over Me," "On Common Ground," "Losing You," "Halfway Home," "Field of Broken Dreams," and I believe that's "Because Tonight," and "Bio Lullaby," and that's it.
Oh, I think it's Lullaby.
Oh, the Bio Lullaby. Well,
yeah.
Okay, I'll play that tonight. I'll do Rescue now because that's kind of what the child-eating popes need. So
that's the way I saw it. They need the rescue.
I know, that's why I saw it. Yeah. You're such a clever girl. I love you, don't you? All right, so we'll play Rescue and take a few minutes so you guys can go drink your wee, and I guess we'll be right back. I got to do this because I'm kind of starting to get. As soon as my mouse works, I can do this. Here we go. So we'll be right back. Wouldn't it? Unbelievable. Okay. You know what I mean about my computer? It's just not liking me right now.
Kate, do you want me to press it?
Blog Talk Radio is not responding. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Too funny. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the computer's not responding here. Recover web page. Screw off. I'll just play the damn thing. Come on. That's Blog Talk main page. Uh-huh.
I can play it. Do you want me to just do that? Oh.
All right. Okay. Rescue. Here we go. I think if we get people emailing in, they can decide whether this song makes the album or not. All right.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
All right. Okay. Rescue. Here we go. I think if we get people emailing in, they can decide whether this song makes the album or not. All right.
Take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters, and rescue. It's just a word away, it's just a word away. I've watched you try, I've seen you spread your wings to fly, without a place to land, not so much as one horizon, but you push on through every wall that still surrounds you. Set down your stubborn pride, it's a friendship I can't hide, so take my hand. Rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, An island in your stormy waters and rescue. It's just a word away. It's just a word away. You think that I don't hear you when you say you'll find that's true. It's what you cannot say. It's your eyes that give away. I know when my friend's hurting, that's why I'll share the burden. I've been where you are right now. I'm still there, still learning how. So take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters and rescue. It's just a word away. It's just a word away. Take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters and rescue. It's just a word away. I said rescue. It's just a word away. Hey, it's just a word away.
Yeah, it always ends a bit quick, that, doesn't it? Yeah, I got bumped off the air. Go figure. Well, at least I could still see the board somewhat. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, good question came in from Colin. Definitely would have touched on this. Some people want to know how many times a day can they do this. Well, you can loop it all day. It doesn't matter. The more that you there's Cole, so let me get him in here as well. It doesn't matter what the more the merrier. That's the basic bottom line. If you can loop it all day.
Yeah, I mean, if you're first starting, the way to do it is to definitely have your first of the day. If you can't handle just drinking it straight, then water it down. Have a third of a cup with your first wee of the morning, and add fruit juice or a juice that you like if you can't face it. Yeah. And then gradually make that juice less and less and less until your pee becomes more. And maybe just start with the first two of the day, yeah? And build up like that so you're looping. If you want to loop, you don't have to loop. That's entirely up to you, but I think once you start, you can't stop.
I've been looping all day today and I feel amazing.
Yay, Cole, honey pie.
I feel I'm just out of this world amazing. I mean, I can hardly go without going into a jar and at least looking at it. And like I said today, I dived right in when I first heard about it. I started right off with probably a pint. First couple of tastes were kind of weird, but I'd say get yourself hydrated. You want to drink a good amount of water to get yourself hydrated, and then your pee is a lot more bearable. It's not. If it's too dark and yellow, then it's going to be nasty and smelly. But
yeah, it looks like Kate's got bumped again, but carry on talking, Cole. This is Ninja, by the way.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Lost the train of thought. When somebody asked me a question.
So what have you found it's done for you, Cole?
To put it into words, it's just been quite a journey. I mean, I didn't really myself go through any major detox. I had a little bit of a skin issue that I was having before I started, actually, which I've got a couple of pictures on Facebook of, particularly on my hands. It was real dry skin and some red bumps, almost like boils, but real small. And that's totally gone. I don't itch anymore. The red bumps are gone and the dry skin. I mean, my hands are actually glowing. Some days in a certain light, I'll look at it and it's just, they're like glowing. It's just this, you know, this, it's like iridescence that just glows.
Hey, Cole, how are you? I made it back.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm getting zing left, right, and center here tonight. So go figure. Well, that's what happens when you take down an entire world system and talk about we and play a song or two. You know. Apparently, that's the standard operating procedure for this planet. So let's get on it, shall we? So I'm sure everyone already asked, but how are you doing, Cole? Great to hear your voice, my friend.
I'm doing wonderful. Just absolutely full of wonder and amazingness.
Go ahead, ask me.
How has your days been?
No, you're supposed to say, how are you, Kate? Try that one.
How are you, Kate?
Fucking dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I just had to say that. I'm in a mood tonight. Oh, this is great. And we've got more people joining the fray here. But did you guys talk about looping yet?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm looping probably at least 90% most days. Today it's probably, that or more. It's like,
yeah, I do probably about 60 or 70%, and well, it's just otherwise I'd be just standing in the bathroom all day. Yeah, seriously. I taken a lot of water, and of course urine too, right? So, and got the plants nicely watered today with living DNA. So yeah, which is pretty cool. Thanks for the reminder last night, by the way, Miranda. That was greatly appreciated. I forgot all about that, and because I know Santo does that with his garden, and there's another way. Let's talk community here. There's another way that you can get that unity together. Is if everybody, instead of ingesting each other's urine, everybody can water the same garden. It's going to pick all of it out.
Yeah.
So there you are, the fruits of your labor. So yeah, don't mind me. I got to tell you, a lot of relief finishing that little note off. So it's been kind of hanging over me for the last 2 weeks, and been wanting to send it out. And I thought, well, why not? I kind of thought, I'll send it out on 666. June 6th.
Yeah, I said that today. It was 666. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, this is the day. This has got to be it. And then, of course, as soon as that happened, the floodgates opened, and it truly went on I think it was only maybe about 1,500 words, but it was enough to finish that off. It's a fairly lengthy little tome, but gets the point across.
Hey, Kate.
Yeah.
6th of June. You just reminded me. That was my Irish granddad's birthday.
Oh, D-Day.
D-Day, indeed.
Well, see, that's why that was my thought of liberating, right? Fortress Europe? Yeah, okay. Well, how about Fortress Earth? Let's take it to a little bit more grandiose level. How about Fortress Universe? I'm in for that. So, and again, it's about the intent. And there's the other thing, too. You can empower yourself as well with your own urine. Put your intent into it.
Absolutely.
Loop yourself. Get looped, baby.
Get loopy.
Yeah, loop to loop. It's funny, I had that line in a song called Full Circle. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, there you go. Snake eating its own tail again. Full circle.
Yeah, the head.
So you were on it before you knew you were on it.
Well, and I had a hamster called Loopy Loo. Oh my God.
Yay.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's these are all just coincidences. So just please ignore what's going on, because it's stay in the illusion. No, you'll be much more comfortable with your Doritos and Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Area code 250. Who we got?
Hazel.
That's what I thought. I was going to say, Hazel, how come you're not talking yet? Oh, and I do want to do a shout out for everybody. If everybody could keep all the chat in the chat room, because bouncing around on Skype drives me nuts, and I will answer. Okay, I will look at it, and it's like So if you keep all the questions in the one, that's why I kind of put that room together so that I wasn't going through 20, 30 different people during a show. Be great. Thanks. I love you. So how's Hazel?
Good. I missed the first hour.
Did you?
Did you guys touch on the Herxheimer response?
No, not yet. I was busy dismantling the entire world system, so it took up a bit of time.
You should have that down pat by now.
Oh, it's done.
Okay, good.
Oh, it's done. The intent's out there. Oh, and I see Jeremiah's in here. I wonder if he's going to jump in tonight. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry, Jeremiah. It was just below the horizon here. Well, you're leaving,
right?
No.
Right. No, don't worry about it. I'm loving this. Oh, goodness. Just having the Philosopher's Stone in our very, whim, and being able to ingest it and being able to completely just revitalize your energetic being. That's just so exciting. And now we're all doing this, and we're all going to be showing these wonderful, miraculous signs of healing. And then everyone's going to see him like, holy shit, look at this guy. And then it's wonderful. It's beautiful, and I'm very excited. And I
was going to say, not to confuse anybody, when Jeremiah said holy shit, that's an expression. It's urine. You don't touch the other stuff.
Holy piss.
There we go.
Really, that's really what it is. Holy piss.
You got it.
But I picked up eyedropper today at the old pharmacy there, the old pharmacy, right? But they had a little device that I can actually input this golden liquid through my eyes and heal them for official. And then from there on out, that's going to be the catalyst to move me forward from there on out. And it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, as within, so without, and that's the thing when you start ingesting and using on surface as well. You're tackling everything. See, this is one of the reasons why I get so frustrated when people go outside of themselves for the answers. Well, I need this oil, I need that, I need this. No, you don't. You are the universe, and every day we're moving closer and closer, where people are starting to get this, that you have everything within you, the complete and utter universe within self, to take care of business. And and I'm talking feeding yourself too. Everything. This is the age of Aquarius. And of course the book of Aquarius is what? All about the Philosopher's Stone. So get with the age of Aquarius, get with your own DNA.
And folks, don't forget, just stepping into what everyone is saying out there, you can't eat this, and you can't do that, and you can't drink that, and everything's poison, and da-da-da, and da-da-da. Well, you don't need any of it. You've got your pee, you can survive completely and utterly, so you don't need food, you don't need water once you've hydrated yourself up. You could live off pee, wrap it on yourself, put it on yourself, drink it, and that's all you need. So you don't have to be worried about what you can and can't eat, and whether you're growing stuff or where you're buying stuff from. And you know exactly where it's come from. And then even more specially of if you put yourself in that lovely space, if you're being creative, if you're meditating, your pee will get better and better. And we've also got to remember that each time you loop it, each time you drink it, it comes out clearer, cleaner, more distilled, more distilled, more distilled.
Yep.
It gets better and better.
We have another caller here, first-time caller. I haven't seen this one. So, Bard for sure. Your mic is open. Let me see. Yep, yeah. Bard for sure. How are you? Hello.
Hello.
There you are. How are you?
It's me, Bindi. Sorry, I thought my real name was up there instead of the tag.
No. Just you see, Mike.
For sure. Okay, old tag. No worries.
Exactly. How are you, Bindi?
I'm good. I'm in day 3 of the whole urine thing, so I'm so happy with all this good news.
Yay!
Yay!
I did it homeopathically a while back, and I've cured eczema applying it on the outside of my hands. And I've been starting with the whole thing forward for years. But 3 days ago, I thought, well, okay, in
for the penny, in for the pound, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and great, awesome, and even more powerful Scorpio. Shit. And by the way, Miranda's Scorpio as well.
Yay!
Oh God! Figured that one out.
All the Scorpios, eh?
Uh-huh.
I've got a joke I'd like to read to you guys, and then I got to jump off and open my call. Can I do that, Kate?
Oh, absolutely. And can you announce to everybody, because you haven't done that in a while, what goes on Thursdays and Fridays?
Well, let me tell the joke first.
Okay.
This came in my newsletter from the complex I live in. They put out a newsletter every month, and she puts in a pretty darn good joke every time. This one is, I was sick and in the hospital. There was one nurse that just drove me crazy. Every time she came in, she would talk to me like I was a little child. She would say in a patronizing tone of voice, "And how are we doing this morning?" Or, "Are we ready for a bath?" Or, "Are we hungry?" I'd had enough of this particular nurse. One day at breakfast, I took the apple juice off the tray and put it in my bedside stand. Later, I was given a urine bottle to fill for testing, so you know where the juice went. The nurse came in a little later, picked up the urine bottle and looked at it. "My, it seems we are a little cloudy today." At this, I snatched the bottle out of her hand, popped off the top, and drank it down, saying, "Well, I'll just run it through again. Maybe it'll filter better this time." The nurse fainted, and I just smiled.
And what a perfect coincidental joke to get in your newsletter.
Yeah, excellent.
Thanks, Kate, for letting me share that one with you. I love it, too.
Excellent.
Anyway, I'm so glad you guys are centering in on the urine therapy. It's really very beneficial. A dear man that had the newspaper, the Idaho Observer, and the Dark Agenda took him out in 2009. He was just in his mid-40s. He had a prison ministry, too. And his prisoners that he loved on, and took care of, said that had he not taught them or told them about the urine therapy, they wouldn't have made it through the prison experience. So he got prisoners drinking their urine, too. So it's really beneficial, everybody. It's a wonderful thing Kate's doing to let you guys know about it. And if you guys have a pen and a paper and want to know about my calls, and Kate, you're very generous to allow me to do this. That's so kind of you.
We do it together, baby.
Oh, you're so sweet, honey. Wednesdays and Thursdays are my calls, and they are at 8:45 Eastern Time. And the phone number is 218-936-4141. And the PIN number is 200-100-pound, and I love you all. You're just the greatest bunch of people. Keep up the doggone good work, and I just love everything you do, Kate.
All I can
God bless you.
God bless you, and all I can do is say promise.
Promise. And rescue. I'm working on it, too.
There you go. Well,
thanks, guys.
You have a great call tonight, and we'll...
see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night, huh?
Okay, darling. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care of you. And we have another caller in now too. So everyone, don't be shy. Just jump in when that means you too, Cole, Mister. I'm just going to sit back and be quiet. Not a chance.
Believe it or not, he does talk the hind leg off a donkey occasionally.
Oh, I know. I've talked to him. He can get her going. But. Oh, just waiting for the... Okay, area code 604.
Hi, Katie. It's Patty from Vancouver.
Patty, how are you? Oh, my God.
Hey, Patty.
Oh, my God. I got to tell you, I've been smoking pot and getting downloads like crazy. I have pot.
You too, huh?
You know what kind I have a medicinal license for it, and I always get MK Ultra. Like, why would that be?
What are the
odds? I'm not the only one.
What are the chances? But it works like hell. So I've got to run this by you guys. This is so powerful. The download showed me how we got to where we are through the Skull and Bones when they say, remember, cross your I's or dot your I's and cross your T's. And I've been I guess months ago when I heard this, I've been trying to figure out what it means. Well, I think today I just got the answer. So I really want to share it with you guys because it brings us back to the dots and the crossing the T's and the X's. You ready?
Oh, yeah. I just, look, before you get started, one of the things that I've been saying for many years, and it's funny you bring this up, was, it's a matter of, dot your I's and cross your T's, and I always said, well, don't forget to cross your I's and dot your T's. So you just hit on a major resonance, so let rip.
It's not really a faux pas, right?
Oh, no, it's not at all. Again, see there's one of my breadcrumbs, so show me the road.
You know what, Katie, I found this out a couple of days ago and I was just kind of sitting waiting for the right time, and as soon as you announced this tonight, I just was feeling like I really needed to close the door on this whole thing with what I'm going to tell you, because this really will start the wheels rotating the other way. You've done it through what you've done. Now I'm bringing the next piece to the table, and it's brilliant, really. So what I did is I just started listening to your, because I'm in this download I don't want to get out, so I'm in it for like hours and hours, right? So I miss your shows until I'm released from it. And so what I've had to do is go back a couple of days. Well, what good planning is that? Because I went back to the day where, I think it was 3 days ago, and I was just getting all of the allegories and all of the flip side of everything that you were saying. And what it did is it brought it into the present tense. And it was just beautiful. So it's taken me about a day and a half to translate your broadcast into the language that we are supposed to be looking at it. The message is right in everything that you said, Katie. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not going to start right at the beginning. It's way too long. I'm going to cut to the chase. And it was when you allowed you were talking about who was in the Skype room, and one of the names was Pope Shifter.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's in the call, by the way? That's Brian.
Okay,
hey.
Hi, Brian. Well, this is brilliant because I think everybody, all the key players are probably listening to this right now, and you'll know who you are. So what happened is you had said, and I have written it all down here, but I don't want to go by the book. I want to kind of do it through my head. So you had said, Katie had said, we have Pope Shifter in the call, and I think it's area code 440. Well, it turned out that it was. Now, you had invited him into the room. Now, this is before you talked about the changing of the Pope. Now, this is all, you'd really have to go back to that broadcast and listen to it all play out. But once I give you the keys, you're going to hear it. So, area code 440, 4 represents the 4 corners of the earth, north, south, east, and west, okay? And so, the 4 corners of the earth started from one circle, one dot. Okay, that's who we are. We are the one singular dot. We are that middle point in the spoke of wheels. Okay, so you've got this black dot. Okay, just think of it as the planet. Is it Jupiter? I think it's Jupiter. Yeah, it's the wheel of fortune. It's the circle with the spokes and the centerpiece. We're the centerpiece. Okay, we were always meant to be round. We were always meant to be in a loop. We were always meant to be infinite. And so. And I only discovered this, Katie, by listening to your show. And so the number 440, meaning the Pope, represents how, because Pope Shifter couldn't come in on that call. You had sent him away or you lost him, right? Then you played a song, which I've got written down here. I can't remember it. But then you invited Pope back in. Now, in the time frame between when he couldn't come on the air, you think you lost him. And when he came back, that represents the changing over. That lack of time is the 3 days. It's the 3 dots. Okay, remember when I'm talking about dots, it has to do with days and it has to do with position, because they took our one dot in the middle of this wheel, and what they did is they changed the shape of the dot through frequencies. They changed the solfeggio scale from, this is why we love your music so much, Katie, because it's music to our ears. You're playing the tones on the 432, is it? Yeah?
Yeah.
As opposed to the 440. Well, our dot was created by using the 430, by the solfeggio. Well, they've hidden them, these ancient scales. These are beautiful, beautiful musical tones. So what they did is they took our dot they changed the frequency by making that dot change its shape by using the 440 scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And I think you said at one time, Kate, you always wanted to be in fa. Well, fa is the fourth letter, A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah, the scale used to start, the ancient scale started at fa.
Well, I didn't know this, and I had heard you say that briefly. I didn't even really remember. But as I'm looking at my 4, I'm being forced now to look at 4. So I look at 4, do, re, mi, fa. Well, fa is the fourth note, okay? So they took our fourth note, fa, okay, it's number 4. They changed it into a square, and they broke that one dot, okay, into 4 different pieces. So now you've got north, east, south, west. Now that circle, which is our number 7, which means, going again, and it's always linking up, right? Which is the P, right. And it's all coming together. So what they did is they took that square, but you see, like you said, Katie, the evil will always destroy itself, because what they did by creating the box, they took our identity, our essence, our everything, and changed it into something that we're not. And we, by siding on the dotted line, because now they've created their own shape of a dot into a box, okay, so when we sign on the dotted line, our signature is our energy. The pen is the penis, okay?
Yeah,
energy, the electric male energy that's coming onto the dots. We've now agreed with our own made-up fake name that we have agreed to these you need 3 of everything to create and manifest anything. The 3 dots, which they've stolen from us, was taken from our one single dot. And what they did is, because they started out by doing this with the square, the square box has now sunk their ship, because we know where we came from, their square box, and now we're in the square box signing our signature outside of the dotted line or any straight line. We are all now right in this box, and we're protected, and they've screwed themselves royally by even suggesting they could even get away with this by using the box, because it's captured their spirit now. And what we're doing now is going back to the original dot. And the original dot, in order for us to get back to it, is drinking our pee and the Sophaglio scales. And it's a lot more. I've got a lot more notes on it.
Oh yeah, I was going to say I know when I'm talking to someone that's had a download, and a download is when you and you're trying to put all these crazy, like, massive concepts together, and the words just kind of don't work, But I know, I feel what you're saying. Yes.
And I have to throw this in. You're going to love this. When I first met Andrew Norton Webber in London, I was talking about finding a sign that represented drinking your pee. And he wrote in my book 3 old symbols that meant drinking your pee. And one of them is a square with a dot in the middle.
There you go.
It's a symbol for urine drinking.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Can I tell you, this is the other thing. I just finished writing this in a few minutes ago. Because, remember, Katie, today I sent you that little note in Skype, and I said, today is 666. Isn't that interesting? And I said, I think I'm getting it now. And you said, yep. Well, what happened is, because today is the day that this came to me, it could have come to other people. It's not me, but today it happens to be 666, okay? So what they do, this is how they got us, was by the 1, 2, 3 step, creating an electrical current, right? You just need to do the thought, which is the spark, and then it manifests into the physical, blah, blah, however it walks itself out. Well, now we're reversing it. So what we're doing is we're going back. Today is 666. If you took the Fibonacci, is it, where you add the first...
Fibonacci.
Fibonacci. Oh, thank you. So we're doing the Fibonacci reverse now, because today is the first day that we're going to start counting back. And you know where it ends up, that we come up as the winners? Independence Day, July 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is how they fucked around with our dots. They caused Independence Day on the 4th by lighting the fireworks. Now what you do is, when you are signing your name on the dotted line, think of your pen as the matchstick, okay? Your matchstick is now putting force onto the flint, okay? Just think of yourself as striking the match, and that's exactly what happens on July 4th, the celebration of Independence Day. That is us. Those sparks are us coming out, and what they've done is they have taken those sparks, us, okay, this is beautiful because it's all going back at them because they've used the sparks against us, okay, by changing the dots, but I'm telling you right now, today is the first day, okay, so it's July 6th. So that, now how do we create a 3? Well, we go 6, 7, 8, 9. We go to July 9th. So July 6th to July 9th is the first 3 dots. That's the first step.
Is that
We're
June
changing
6th?
our calendar.
Patty, June
Yes?
6th, June 9th is what you're saying?
Oh, June, yes, June.
Okay, because you were saying July 6th to 9th, so we're going June 6th to June 9th for the 1, 2, 3.
Oh, is it June? Sorry.
Yes, yeah. And by the way, when you just a little aside here, when you posted that this morning, I'd already had it in my mind that, you know, I've got to get this thing finished, and as soon as it all clicked, and it's like, oh, perfect, because the Bilderbergers start their meeting today. So how about I send out a full both side of the ship broadside into the universe to counteract that nonsense?
Holy shit, that is crazy.
Yep.
Wow, this is such a powerful day, and so that's true. So it's June 6th to June 9th is the first 3, okay? So
Yep.
that makes 1. Then you go 3 plus 6 is 9. I did that. So 9 plus 6 brings us up to
15.
Okay, and then the 15th to the 30th is the third dot. Now, what
By the way,
happens is...
15th is my birthday, so just...
Holy shit. Kate, that lands right on your birthday. It's powerful. Do you see now how this is all coming back? How many dots are you from the real spark? Tell me. Okay, there's one more spark. The one last spark is on the 30th. Now, what happens is we start a new month. This is the 3 days in the tomb, okay?
Yep.
And the 4th day is July 4th, Independence Day. We're backtracking all the way back to that signature when it was signed, July 4th. We're negating it all. Those sparks that were once used against us are going to be used for us. Watch. This is how it's all manifesting. All we have to do is backtrack it, and it's going to be back to exactly where it should be.
There we go. Reverse out of here.
Hey?
Holy wow.
Well, get in
reverse.
the box, screw them. Katie, you were spot on when you said evil will always destroy itself. We are in the box right now. We're heading back home.
Yep.
Wow.
And reverse is...
in the chariot. This is the chariot taking us back home because
part
it's the
7.
wheels. You
Yes.
see, what happened is when they took our round circle and they created, what they did is they created the spokes, the sticks, okay? Which is why you have the 2 sticks of Judah and the 2 sticks in one hand, right? They used those sticks against us. They manipulated our birth dates.
Yeah.
With the moon and the sun, because the moon is a satellite, it's man-made. The sun, you know, these 2 forces represent the reptilian brain in us. They did it in the physical. What they did is they took our universe away from us by interfering with the moon and the sun, which is why I believe, could be wrong, you know, that when we put our horoscopes in. Now, why is it that Santo would be so skilled in this? Because he needed the information from the other side of the dimension to apply it to the truth. And I believe truly that's why Santos has this incredible skill, because we are now going to know who we are by eliminating the moon and the sun in the astrology, okay, which has interfered with who we really are anyway. It's the reptilian brain. Once we get rid of that in our psyche and understand it, the reptilian brain will be dead and gone in us, in the physical.
And something else to keep in mind as well, with the sun getting so bright, when I see the moon reflection being so much brighter as a result, all that is to me is a manifest attempt to boost the frequencies from the moon, because they've lost complete control of this place.
Well, then aren't you lucky it's nearly a new moon?
Yeah. You know, so I mean...
It's happening in the dark.
Absolutely. That's why I say I look at that sun, and the only intention I have is I want to turn that little bastard inside out and backwards.
Well, this is how they also created their own circle by using the sticks, like the...
And you've said about the 2 sticks, and and here we go again. The moon is a circle, and you've got the 2 sticks, and right, and this new moon is in Gemini, which is represented by 2 lines, isn't it?
Yep, and of course, don't forget we are crossing the sticks.
Oh, you took words out of my mouth.
Yeah, thanks, you sent it. And I haven't even drank your wee. How's that?
But when they crossed the sticks, this is interesting. This is how they went from 2 sticks to 4. What they did is in the cross in the sky, right? It's that represents the 2 sticks. But when look at the pictures that we see of Jesus on the cross. Well, you've got some guy on the left of him and some guy on the right of him. Well, they got the thief, which is the thief in the night, okay, and they got the other guy who's the murderer. Well, guess what? Those 2 extra sticks, those 2 extra meat sticks, are what created the meat stick. They put the meat on the stick to create this illusion that Jesus Christ was hung on the cross. He was not. This is just a big lie. This is what they did to create.
It's all metaphorical, allegorical, and we're tearing it to shreds now.
They took those 2 other sticks, those 2 meat sticks hanging beside Christ, and made the other 2 dots from him. 1 sec,
Patty. We've got 90 seconds here. I just got to do my on-air shout-out. If you want to call in, area code 661-467-2401 to get into the rolling into the recording. Also, a great big thank you to criticalmassradio.co.uk. Paul, Lisa, all the hosts at Critical Mass, and thank you guys so much. Look what you did. You changed the universe. How can I not be grateful? How can we all not be grateful? Thank you so much. So anyway, there you go.
We are great.
Yes.
I think we've had a group download, don't you think? It should be public download and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Can I say another thing? This is...
yeah, keep going, Patty. You're on a roll. Right?
Like, I'm on a roll. And you know what, Katie? I really I'm like you. When I start talking, if I'm interrupted, it's that whole spirit pouring down. And as soon as that interruption is interrupted, it's very hard to get back on track, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I just keep finding things I've written down. Now, this is really, really amazing. I kept thinking, today's the first day I drank pee, by the way.
Yay!
So, oh my God, thank you.
Golden shower.
So what happened is with our teeth, now this is so fucking brilliant, I can't believe it. This is just all coming to me. So it's like our teeth, what they did is they took our teeth, when they made an imprint, a counterfeit, okay, of our teeth when they go to the dentist, right, and they make a counterfeit of it. What they did is they took our identity. They took our crowns. We have our crowns in our mouth, right? Crowns for royalty. They took using a counterfeit method, which they did with the dot, they used the spokes to create their own big wheel, which we live outside. Living outside is only when you live outside of the box will you ever know where the inside is. And we have done that, and that's why we know, because we have spent almost all of our time outside of the box, and it's brought us back. I think it's brilliant. But so what they did is they took our teeth and they made an imprint. Now they have we innocently gave our imprint away. Now they can just mess with it, which they do. So what they do is now they got to figure out, how can we mess up their teeth? Well, let's put fluoride in it, weaken them, because where the crowns are in our mouth, right? No, this is just me. I could be totally wrong.
It's the pearly gates, hon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the teeth are your pearly gates.
Oh.
Spirit breath. Ro, ki ro. Get it?
And that's why the tongue thing too, right? Like anybody
noticing? That's
tongue...
why they needed the tongue pledge. Yes.
And they put a pacifier in our baby's mouth to block the
connection.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never put a pacifier in my son's mouth. He never had one.
Wow, good for you. Anyway, I'm sort of done. I think I had to get it out. It was just like...
Yeah, I know. I can feel the energy. It's perfect. Let rip.
Well, if everybody puts their tongue in the right position, the whole group gets strengthened anyway.
Exactly.
But I think what's happening now is everyone who is drinking their pee is getting on the same wave. Yeah, we're taking from the same source now. So this is like the real quickening happening now. This is really, it's almost like we don't even need to share it in a pot because we're sharing our pee.
There can be only one.
This is friggin' beyond, man.
Wow. Guys,
and thank you for your download. That has completely blown me away because I get those when I go in the wood and I forget to take my recording and I forget to take paper, and by the time I've got in the car and come home, I've lost so much of it. I'm going to get a recorder. So cool.
Oh, I get one now too because this is crazy.
Okay, and something else for you guys as well. we get bumped off during the recording. The show goes down. I like to mention this every so often, and I've already been snapped at 3 times tonight, so that should be 3 times the charm. They're done with it. But there are a couple of people that I've mentioned they want in, so I'm going to bring them in with me, and it's always at a great risk that I do this because it overloads my Skype, but we got to get the job done, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, if it makes any difference, because the minute I put the Lemurian seed crystals on my laptop, your connection bettered. So I hope it works.
yeah, actually, you know what? I've got I do have one Lemurian, and
Put it on the laptop there.
yeah, so I've got yep, balance it out. So I'm gonna bring in. Let me see.
I'm so excited I could pee.
Right, bringing in Cam C. I just want to see who else was in the room there that wanted to jump in. Okay, Cam C, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're in the call. I just want to see actually if who else in the room wanted in. I got room for 3.
That girl was excellent. Like I wished I wasn't completely understanding everything. I sure was very interested, and then she went away.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Patty?
It was really interesting.
Can I add a little bit more, because this will bring everything really into perspective.
Absolutely not. You said enough. You're pissing the whole universe off. Okay. No, go ahead.
You started it.
Go ahead. I know, eh? As above, so below.
I'm just finding all, because I've got so many. I got pages and pages and pages, and I just caught on to this one. Okay, this is the other thing when they say dot your I's and cross your T's. That's what they say. Make sure you do that. So what they've done is when they dotted our eye with the pupil, right, the black center of our eye, what they did is they put a projection screen in it so that everything was reversed, which is how they ended up reversing everything in this world. Because everything that we look at is reversed. Now, before this happened, and they used the dots to do this. It all goes back to these dots.
You should
so
see
we're
my
not looking
mirror.
at reality. It's false. It's like false. It's
like an illusion.
idolatry.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a walking, talking clue. You should see the mirror from my perspective and go, what the fuck is going on?
I think about that quite a bit, actually. Because...
Yeah. Talk about a reality check.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Assholes.
Just saying. Sense of humor was this.
Oh man, right? But hey, Creator has a sense of prose. Right. Speaks in prose. Prose. Get it? Isn't it cool? Yeah. Creator's a poet and a hell of a joker too.
Proost is cheers in Dutch.
What's that?
Proost is cheers in Dutch.
Oh, there you go. I love it.
What happens when we lose the reptilian brain?
Oh.
Turn into mammals.
What?
We turn into mammals. No, it was a joke, sorry.
No, I got to go.
The next bust through.
Then you won't be your line 6 won't be interfered with a shitty cylinder. You'd be running on 8 cylinders.
Okay.
Because what happens with the reptilian is that's the transceiver, that's the interrupter that picks up all this garbage from the transmissions from the moon, and it's basically the control mechanism. It's the same way that they controlled the slaves with the pyramids. Those were just giant transmitters, giant smart meters, if you will.
So we're not affected by HARP?
Sorry, what's that?
We won't be affected by HARP?
Oh God, no! You shouldn't be affected by it anyway.
No.
I was just going to say, do you think
doesn't affect me?
Cancel the idea and you're not affected.
Yeah, as soon as you go, no, not on my watch, you're good.
Yep.
Okay.
Mind over matter. That's it.
That's it. Exactly.
And if you
are
bathe in
gods.
and if you bathe in your pee, you're so protected anyway from absolutely everything. Everything.
And the cannabinoids, exactly why they wanted to ban them is because that's exactly what shields the neurons. It completes the synapse in your brain. Of course, you should be ingesting it. For me, smoking a little bit of it is enough to, one, calm the left side mercury down, and I get into a beautiful zone.
But it's different smoking it than taking the oil, right?
Oh, hugely different.
Yes,
hugely different.
Both just as beneficial, though.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ingesting it is far more beneficial. You get 100% of it, whereas smoking, you have a 5 to 10% value out of it. But there's a different mindset with it, and like when you're ingesting it, it's going through the entire body. Of course, it's completing more synapse in your brain without getting like wasted. It's not that I get wasted. I don't know. It's just, for me, it's just calm zone, and it's download central.
Vaporizing is good too.
Oh, that's the best.
I've got 2 of them. I needed them because I was really needing it quite a bit. So I've got them sitting right here. Haven't been going nonstop for 4 days.
What's vaporizing?
I'm going partying with Patty out west. I'll see you guys next week.
It all happens in the
vaporizing.
We have a rack-mounted one at the studio.
Nice. Rack-mounted.
It looks like a compressor, but it's a vaporizer.
I love it.
Is a vaporizer a bong?
No, it's much done through vapors, because when I was using a bong, and I don't smoke. First of all, I'm not crazy about smoking pot. Secondly, but I do it, and now I know why. But the vaporizer, it gives you a whole lot more of the product, the CBC and the THC.
Heats it up.
Right.
It's excellent the way to, because smoking it's not. I don't think it's that good for your lungs, but the vaporizer, man, it gets the job done right now.
Snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispies.
Lung problem. Same thing.
I was going to mention too that it's so crazy. We're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel all returning, right? Well, the way that they scattered them was through the dots. They turned our circle into 4 different dots, making a square, right? One in the north, one in the south, one in the east, one in the west. And what they did is they allocated the certain tribes to each corner of the square or of the earth. They turned the earth from a circle into a square. And so now that we know this, we as the 12 lost tribes of Israel are all returning because this information has just broken their curse and spell on the 12 tribes of Israel. So they will be, whenever, right? But this announcement has broken that curse. And even
so the world was flat. It was a cube.
Okay, I missed that.
I did too.
I totally missed that, but Miranda didn't.
So I said the world really was flat because it was a cube.
We really are backtracking back to the flat.
Oh, man. I'm going to go hang out with Miranda.
I wanted to jump in real quick, guys. This is awesome. This is fantastic. This day, 666, right? Today I was just playing around with numbers. It was like 432. There's a significance to that. And I know, Kate, you'll have something to chime in. I know everyone will. But if you take 432 and mirror it and then add it, it is 666. And I was like, wow, why is that significant? And now I know, today, 432, it's just amazing. So I just want to know what you guys thought about that.
Well, it was just a coincidence that I had to finish my last symphony today. Summons of the Dead.
Wow.
And 4:32 p.m. today also adds up to 6, right? 4:32 p.m. Mm-hmm. That number and time has to be significant as well because when you add up, I think it's so you add up the June, the 6th, and the 6th, right? And you get 18, and then you add another 6 for the time. That equals 24. 24 times 2 for the 2 witnesses coming together to be 1 is 46. Isn't it?
What's
48?
48.
We'll take the word for it.
Which is government.
And as a bat.
The government has changed, right? Because 12 means government.
Yeah, and the answer to the universe is, by the way, 42. That is 6 times 7, right? So the God number.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 is also yin turned backwards. That yin is the dark. And that's what I've been talking about. We need to get back to our darkest place to shine our brightest. That's why I look at the sun and go, you're next. inside out with you. We got much better universes to build than this.
What do you mean inside out?
What's that?
What do you mean inside out?
Black hole, baby.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Turn it inside out.
Like a torus field or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, double Thorium field. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the number for government's 13 too. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, that's the all-seeing eye. That's the 13th tribe, right? So that's the one that tries to rule all. But of course, they put the all-seeing eye where on their $1 bill, and that's the only one that has any quote power unquote. Like a $5 bill is a fifth of that. A $10 bill is a tenth of that. Although the illusion is that it's more. It's actually less. So the more money you have, the less you have.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of neat? That's why those who are last shall go first, and those who are first shall go last. So all of us who got cleaned out of our being possessed by our possessions have been blessed beyond comprehension.
Oh my God!
It all come back.
Guess which
that makes sense.
To the number 420.
Yeah, 420. There's smoke them if you got them.
Yep.
420, baby. Let's roll. Literally.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, that's a bit of the Dutch coming through.
Go ahead, Patty.
I've just found something else. Kind of how this all gets us back into the circle. Like, because you were talking about Orion so much, I kind of went to Bill Donahue's thing, and I looked at it and everything, and then I thought, okay, you know what? I'm just trying to look at this from the middle point. So you had mentioned that the Vatican and the Lucifer telescopes are all pointing at the Orion Belt and
Orion Nebula.
Yeah. Sorry?
At the Orion Nebula.
Nebula.
It's below the belt.
Okay.
Oh, look, they hit us. They hit us. They hit us below the belt.
Oh, the gonads.
Perfect.
Oh, bloody hell.
They're shooting his nuts off, right? Making him feminine.
Well, again, where that would be in Orion would probably be of course that's the nebula is, as I've put it very, very clearly, it's ejaculating stars. That's the male Anu, right?
But that's where they're shooting. They're trying to see. I'm reversing it, and I'm saying, okay, you know what? They're putting energy. Now, what happens is because as above, so below, right? Well, let's go as below, so above. So below the church, they've got the sacred ritual, demonic entity energy there, right? So that demonic energy attaches to the next thing up. Well, the next thing up is the next dot, which is our prayers, okay? So now our prayers are attached to this negative energy, which takes it up to the Orion Nebula. Well, if you look at it the other way, now they know the power behind the Orion, right? I mean, it's powerful. Yeah. And so what they're doing is they're shooting it. They're killing it because they know the power that if this thing ever manifests, that it's hell on the earth for them. Because what they're doing is while they're shooting and killing this this powerful area, it is killing the physical of the constellation because the constellation above is dictating what is below. Now, we don't want maybe a particular constellation happening if it's meant for evil. So by them shooting at it, they're killing it. By killing it, it's shooting out the stars. The stars are us who have been released from the flesh, from all of our worldly desires, and the sparks coming out are in fact us. We are the ones that are coming from heaven to earth to bring peace. And by shooting themselves, and that's what they did. They were shooting themselves in the nuts by killing the male aspect, okay, of the flesh, which is representative of the constellation, which they've done in the physical manifestation, so it will manifest on Earth. By them destroying that, they've again shot themselves in their foot, because what they've done is by killing him through war and anger and blood and violence, through their telescope or whatever, through their prayers, they've destroyed the one thing that's going to kill them.
So they're actually trying to physically kill something that's in 8th dimension. Wow. That's
because everything has to go around. So those stars that are being shot out are not the enemy. They're us. They are us shining lights coming. We are the angels. That's a spirit. The Holy Spirit is now falling on the earth. We represent that Holy Spirit. Those are our light coming down. So when you talk about the power, yeah, of course they wanted it dead because they knew how powerful it was. Well, guess what? The power has just turned ranks. It's now time for us to reign, R-A-I-N. That's why it was raining behind you today, Katie, when you were when you were doing the beginning of your show. You were saying, was it today or yesterday? I'm running them all together, but there was one day where you mentioned, wow, it's really raining here, and I wrote, yeah, it's REI, because we're raining now. The real royalty is raining. That's why it was loud, and the bird flew into your window the other night, not because it was trying to stop you. Remember when the bird hit your window?
Yeah.
That was because you said a key thing, and I've got it written down. At that point where that bird flew into your window, that was the universe telling you that it flew in head first, the crown, the chakra. What it did is by that bird hitting your window was telling us one of the chakras is just open because of what you've talked about. And that's why the bird flew in the window. And that's why when you kept saying, well, who's typing there? I can keep hearing typing. Well, you had mentioned about, this is when you had brought up the area code 440. Well, what happened is because we don't, I guess because we don't see you, I don't know why this manifested this way, but you were talking, and in the background, the typewriter was going. And what that did was it gave the typing, the Morse code, because they're dots. Morse code, if you broke down Morse code and do an anagram on it, it means something about dots. I've got it written down here. So dots were made by tapping your fingers on the dots on the typewriter, okay? And the typewriter was represented the dots and the fact that they're using the dots to manipulate. It's all kind of tied together.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is everything is fractal and connected, and what I've been trying to do for years is connect these dots, and see the correlations of everything in everything in everything in everything, and there are no coincidences, and I hope that wasn't me getting bumped.
I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, we got area code 937 coming in too, so let me see if there's anybody else. Good, guys. Thank you. This is what I love, when you guys all just get to the table and go, pass the potatoes. It's beautiful.
I want some of Patty's wee. That's all I can say.
It was nasty. You know what? I've tried this a few times. I knew I was supposed to do this, and today I just went and I got this really powerful blackberry juice. I let it sit at room temperature, and I just mixed it half and half and did her in.
You good
girl.
Is that Bindi?
What?
Is that Bindi? Who makes
no,
the
it's Miranda.
Yeah.
No.
And I keep losing somebody, so one sec.
Okay. I've been doing it for about 5 days, and I'm still in Herx.
Mm.
Who was the person who said they just today did the urine therapy? Who was that?
Well, there was
Patty.
And there was Colin. He tagged me.
How was it?
Oh, it's amazing.
With juice, it's okay.
Yeah, and again, as you loop it, it gets better and better and better. And not that honestly, I was pleasantly surprised first time I did it.
There's no color or taste when you loop.
Yeah, it's you're just looping life.
Yeah.
And again, anything in life worth having is worth working for, huh? Just saying. So.
Yeah.
But,
hey, Kate,
yeah, go ahead.
I called in last night. I wanted to ask you a quick question, if it's okay. I know you're going to say I already did, so.
I love it.
It's Vincent. You probably know that, but.
Yeah. Hi, Vince. How are you?
Hey, Kate. I read something yesterday, an article that said that fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? And I was going to ask you what you thought of fasting.
Oh, absolutely. Fasting, what I like to do is 1 day on, 1 day off. And sodium bicarbonate does a beautiful purge. And it keeps...
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you about that because you had said something about baking soda in water. How much should I do? Is it 1 tablespoon or teaspoon?
I generally, every 2 or 3 days, because I was doing it regularly, I'm alkaline, but every 2 or 3 days. Now, if you just start on it, do a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half in, filtered or distilled water, and just knock it back, and don't be too far away from the toilet. Within the hour or so, If you're just starting out, you're going to clean out real quick. And typically, I'll tell you, the first time I did a heavy program, I was doing like a tablespoon or more a day. I did it for 2 weeks to clean everything out. And oh my God, I first week I lost 5 pounds.
Okay, so you're saying for me, just starting out, I should do half a teaspoon every other day.
No, do a teaspoon every day. Just don't be too far away from the toilet. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you.
Okay.
It will. It will. So.
It will scream at you.
Yeah, it does. It does. Your body will tell you if you're listening. It will tell you what it needs. So a typical day in the life of Kate. Urine in the morning, and like I said, I loop between 60 and 70% all day. Like I said, otherwise I'd be in the bathroom all day. And every 2 to 3 days, I'll do a tablespoon of baking soda. And again, I eat right, well, as best I can. And I don't have the availability of the things that I love to be getting, but I eat the right things that I can. I'm full on. Well, I am like vegan, except I like the occasional little bit of cheese, and that's it. But other than that, I am there. I do not ingest consciousness.
Okay, and you fast like you'll eat on Monday, but then you won't eat on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, just and sometimes I'll go a couple of days with eating, and then take a day, and whatever my body tells me. When I feel I need to clean, then I'm good. And with the urine, you're giving your body all the nutrients you need anyway.
With the baking soda, because I had cancer and I lived on that stuff, it cured me. If people can't stand the taste, which I couldn't, you can buy empty gel caps at the health food store. Like I got the big ones, and just fill them up, and you can take the baking soda that way. It's the only way that I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mix it with honey. Works.
Yeah, a little bit of honey.
Or maple syrup.
Yeah, maple syrup's really good, and that's the right kind of sugar you should be eating, by the way.
Yeah, that's great.
The sugar that your body craves versus the.
I'm sure all natural, right?
Well, yeah. Again, it's a natural tree sap, right? So.
I should
drink maple syrup all the time.
Good for you.
I shouldn't get Aunt Jemima's or Mrs. Butterworth's, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And another really good way of purging is to do a urine enema. Fan-bloody-tastic. And if you use older pee, you will really get a shift on.
Okay, enough. Let's
that on right now, then, eh?
Okay, well, to get back to Vincent's question on the fluoride, yeah, the fluoride in the water puts calcification into your pineal, which is water. Okay, that's your waters of truth. That's the rock that Moses hits the staff against to pour forth the waters of truth. That's what the allegory is saying there. So when you start ingesting your urine, it nullifies it completely.
Do you drink anything? Oh yeah, I guess you would. Do you drink water in addition to urine therapy thing, or no?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm a teetotaler. Like I say, I'll generally use maybe 3 tea bags in a day, and I'll fill my cup up, 3 or 4 times. By the 4th time, it's basically hot water anyway. But again, okay. I'm a mind over matter type, so what I say works for me because I know me, and I know what I'm capable of, and that's the difference. And what I'm trying to do more than anything else with everyone is to remove all those doubts, to remove all those, second guessing yourself, and putting, like when we bring like Miranda and so many other people with the true sources, the sources are within us, and the information out. Once you start, just make the choice. Do you want to have, like, dude, seriously, it is intoxicating. It is. I'm telling you, the stuff that I've been through, I look back at it now with absolute peace, and I know exactly why, and I know exactly what my purpose is, and all of that will not matter. It does not matter. It's past. Right? I am in the now, and the only thing that matters to me is that which I make matter as a co-creator. That's why I tell everyone that I am your co-creation. How do you like yourself?
Yeah, I gotcha.
See the mirror?
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's what it boils down to at the end of the day, my friend.
And start tuning in with your body. I mean, every morning when you get up first thing in the morning, look at your wee. Before you take it, say, right, what is it that I need for today? And give it to me in what I'm taking. Yeah, manifest absolutely everything that you need. Tune into your body in the morning.
And before you go to sleep at night, program your DNA, program your we. What is your put your intent into your body, and again, when you're sleeping, your body is in. You are finally in the dark zone. You need to be, and the melatonin, melatonin gets secreted by the pineal at night, and there's where you're really going to empower that intent, because that what you intend is that what you are creating, and you're putting the intent into the urine before you go to sleep. So, and all of that water of life that is in you is already there. It's just going to be collected. So put the intent there for it when it is collected, and as Miranda said, in the morning, put your intent back into it, reinforce it, and be ready for a less than rude awakening.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, during the night while you're asleep, or actually while you're really awake, you reinforce it then too, because you don't forget you've put the intent there. So
yeah, I woke up
back a millionfold.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think I fell asleep about 1 a.m. and I was up again at about 20 after 4 this morning, and I think I managed to get another hour. But I'm on fire right now.
I still haven't even been to bed, Kate, since we last spoke.
Well, you're never going to sleep now.
No, I'm wide awake now.
Wired awake.
The scripture that I was given for this whole thing was, and I kind of researched it out, it was Isaiah 9, verse 10. The bricks have fallen down, but we will rebuild with dressed stone. Now, I looked up, now, you see, the bricks are the lines that they created by altering our dots, by making our circles into squares, right? So the bricks represent the magic that they used to create these bricks, which have kept us enslaved. Now, what's happened is, because we know that this is why they've fallen. Well, when it says we're going to rebuild with dressed stone, I looked up dressed stone, and what it says is that it says it's a geological or something, I can't pronounce the word, stress that dresses a particular stone. And they are structures that are harmful and are unfit for human habitation, which means that this, you see, the bricks that they were using were places that were not inhabitable for us. These were places that we never should have been living in. And so when we rebuild, we are rebuilding with our stone, the philosopher's stone, the smooth stone, the hewn stone, the stone that is created from a circle, all-encompassing, full circle with smooth edges, no pointy, sharp edges that keep us enslaved.
And this is why they've been building square boxes and putting us in square boxes all the time, and why we're breaking free and wanting living in the round.
Which explains why the dream I had the other night, it's been hanging in the back of my mind. It was a bricked up fireplace, and when you were talking about the dressing of the stone, again, there it is, the temple, right, that is not built by hands. You'll hear Bill references it quite a few times. The temple that is not built by hands is the temple within, i.e. in heaven, your head. And of course, what are the stones we're going to use to build that? Philosopher's stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our pineal. Now, you see, because now this is another way that I looked at it. Could be wrong, but when it said a dressed stone, what happened is, now, in order for, you see, this all to go back into a circle, we have to accept the good with the bad. We have to see both sides of the coin, like Katie's always been talking about. And the only way that we can do that, for me, like the way that really brought it to life for me, was reversing the attack on Orion. by me being able to look at that as, them maybe doing negative to us, but what it's doing is turning it back in favor of us. Now, this is exactly what's happened with the bricks. So what's happened is they created, through magic, their own brick. Now, they used it through their sacred geometry and their lines. Now, by us using our own draft stones, now my interpretation of this is that we are going to use their geometry. We're going to use it back at them because, let's face it, it's powerful. We're going to put our imprint on it, our ID, our geometry, which is the circle, and take the power and take it back to us, which is why when we accept our fears as our own, we accept sin as our own, we accept everything external because it is all about us, because it always comes back to us. That is the only way that the inheritance will be returned to the Israelites. When we can accept from everybody and forgive, if that's how you have to do it outside, forgive whoever or whatever, and look at it as nothing being war, that everything is peace, because in the end result, light always wins, dark will never win, and this is a proving a life example of that. So our dressing stone is going to be dressing representing our geometry on top of theirs, which now, when we accept them back, because we don't reject, we always accept everything. Love is unconditional. So when we say to these people, okay, I like Kate Slater did today, what we've done is we've taken their dressing, their geometry away and put ours on top, because now they're bringing it back into us where it belongs. That's the only way we can get our inheritance back. We have to accept both sides of the contract, because they're coming to us for our light. Our light is going to purify. We are not to judge who comes into our home. We just allow, as Kate says, everybody sits at our table. So when we shut them out, when this fear is knocking at our door, okay, when for instance, like with Kate, who's been attacked a few times online the last few days, well, by Katie, I believe that by you just allowing it, right, and just going, okay, it is what it is, you've accepted it, you've allowed it, and by accepting it, this is how the Israelites, through peace, love, and absolute unconditional love, will always accept the enemies, that's how you want to look at it, into the camps, because they are seeking our light. So when fear is knocking, it's not fear, it's these poor dark souls just wanting to come into us where they know the pure light exists, and when we open it up, we now have represented unconditional love.
Well, like I say, I don't have a door. I ripped it off a while back, and all are welcome to this table. Every single individual and that was mentioned in that document, and those that weren't, your amnesty is waiting for you. Can you take it? And that's all they have to do. They have to take their own amnesty. And the amnesty, it can never be given. That is a trespass. And I will not trespass. The amnesty must be taken upon self to see by one's actions. And the decision is very simple. That's not, there's the two questions. Is that something I would do or something I would not do? That's the only choice you have. And they have to make the choice for amnesty. That's not something I will do anymore. And of course, at that point, all is forgiven on both sides of the coin. Yeah. And do you remember, Kate, in one of your shows, I think it was the same one a couple of days ago that I was listening to, you mentioned, or somebody mentioned on the air, and they said, what's that noise? It sounds like Morse code. And I could hear it, and it sounded like Morse code, and somebody did bring it up. Well, I looked at the Morse code. The Morse code in an anagram comes out to, here come dots. Well, what are the chances that somebody would hear Morse code, I do an anagram on it, and here I am talking about dots. Well, they're just telling you right there with Morse code, the dots are coming back home. Yep. Yep.
The right shape.
S-O-S. That's divine feminine of creation, divine feminine.
Can I just make a comment on the whole circle, returning to the circle form? I've just been busy remodeling one of my rooms at a square into a circle, and I'm painting Santo's Starman on it. So
nice.
If I lie down in the middle, I've got every angle, not just one.
Nice. Well, again, there's no straight lines in creation. I mean, we are arcs of light. An arc is not a straight line. It is a curved line.
Exactly. Same as the Ankh. If you Ankh your energy, it returns back to you.
Yep. That's why they used it during the mating rituals. The whole idea of the ankh was to keep the energy circular. That's why it was such a sacred process to do that.
And the tongue against the roof of your mouth.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that is critical, and something as a great piece of, if people find themselves stressed out at any point, if you want to calm yourself immediately, just put your tongue to the roof of your mouth.
Yep. Point your eyes 45 degrees upward, and you're in alpha immediately.
Do you remember, Katie, in the Bible where it talks about the Israelites, and I think it was the tribe of Ephraim, where they did a test on them, and it was the way that they could tell if they were an Ephraimite or not was by their, they had to say Shibboleth or something, and I think they actually lisped. Now, isn't it interesting that Moses had a lisp or a speech impediment? Well, it's probably because he had his tongue in the right place.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, all the little tricks that are coming out, eh? It's no wonder these guys are so paranoid and ramping up the nonsense. But these Bilderberg, this meeting, I'd love to be behind the wall. They're sitting around the table going, shit. How do we shut these guys up? Well, you don't, you see, because we're the creators.
Oh my God, this is the first dot with this is making total sense. Today, remember I said it's the 666. Well, the Bilderbergers are meeting today. This is the first dot on the way back. This is the first step because the Bilderbergers are sitting down, allocating all the things that they have to give back to us because it's rightfully ours. So this is the first step back today.
There we go.
In reverse.
June 22nd came up as well, by the way, which I thought was interesting. Of course, that's the catch-22. Yeah. Right, so pay
double
attention.
Blessing.
Thank you.
Plus double blessings, right?
Right. And it was actually a friend of mine, Richard, that was here. He had mentioned a show that he was watching, and on the wall, there was a calendar on the wall, of course. They put the clues there. Can you see them? And he's got good eyes. He sees lots. And it was the calendar date, June 22nd, 2013. So... there you go. Just all the little pieces. Once you start seeing the yellow brick road, it gets to a point where you're astonished that you missed it. How the hell did I miss that? What was I smoking? Well, it wasn't cannabis, I'll tell you that much.
It wasn't like it should have been, that's right.
Yeah.
I got 14 grams of it here.
Oh, lucky you. I'm your new best friend.
Yes, you are. Whether you know it or not.
There you go. But again,
have you seen the? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Say, have you seen the movie Cabin in the Woods?
Oh, that's a great movie. I know it was the only thing that protects
crazy allegory. Yeah, yep. That was funny. There's a lot of stuff like that. That movie's crazy.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's great. I really wanted to see that movie. Fantastic. All right. I knew I wanted to see it for a reason. My wife won't watch it. She's afraid of horror movies.
Oh, it's not.
It's more like allegories and weird stuff. It's not so much a horror movie. It's cool.
I knew that. All right, good. So she'll watch it with me. So if she goes to bed watching that movie, she won't have nightmares.
Oh no, I found it more as a comedy. Like really, well, maybe that's just the allegories I'm watching, going, ha ha ha, good one. But yeah, right. There's one. They have the I guess the high school porn queen with the high school super jock. I loved how they wiped him out with a motorbike. That was funny as hell. Then there's I guess the average girl next door and the stoner, and who was the other one? There was one other one. Anyway,
was the nerd or like the smart guy, the genius?
The genius. Yeah, it had to have a good representation of humanity. But it was interesting that the watchers or the would-be masters that are playing this game are going, we can't get that guy. He's smoking pot. We can't break through, right?
Wow. Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, I laughed. I said, "Yeah, shields up, Captain." And that's exactly what
I wouldn't do it.
What's that?
I wouldn't watch it. I watched that Cloud Atlas after so many in the chat room saying how good it was.
I loved it.
I saw it twice.
The allegories in that movie are astonishing.
I couldn't handle the women hanging there and then being fed back to themselves. That whole idea.
That's humanity. That's what you're dealing with.
Well, I know, but I didn't want to say it.
No, this is where we're at to try to wake the really sleepy ones up if they can see it. And the analogy or the allegory of that whole thing was there's the birth certificate and the debt obligation portrayed in full living color. We are literally cannibalizing and feeding off ourselves.
Yep.
And the left-brain filmmakers can only use electricity to shock everybody, so it's shocking to wake up.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Have any of you guys seen Lars and the Real Girl?
No.
What's it called?
Lars and the Real Girl, and it's got what's his name in it? That really famous boy that's in everything at the moment.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Right. Yes, I've seen that.
So I thought, I'll watch this. Anyway, I started it, and it's very weird because he's a very strange individual, and he gets himself one of those porno dolls, you know, the big lifelike dolls. But it's not about that at all. It's about how people communicate and how it's just a really beautiful and very sweet, funny film. So I highly recommend that. Lars and the Real Girl. It's gorgeous.
It really was. I'll vouch for you for that.
It was really
beautiful.
sweet.
It was really cool, really quirky, but really cute.
Did make me laugh too. And the other one I watched the other day that was beautiful was The Intouchables, a lovely French film about this quadriplegic guy. Beautiful film.
Yeah, fabulous film, that one.
Gorgeous. I cried and laughed and
Right on. I don't know where to go now. We just kind of smoked that.
You know
one.
what a decimal point? I did an ammogram on a decimal point. It means, get this, I'm a dot in place. I don't think that means anything.
Might, you and Miranda get along fine. Miranda's a lexicogrammer.
Oh, I've been doing this so many years.
Yeah.
I should read I'll have to do that, Patty. We'll have to connect, and I'll read you some of the lexicograms that I've done.
I've heard them, and they're awesome. I wish I could do that. I'm not that good.
No, but you can. You're already doing it. You've actually done a lexigram out of a decimal point. I think that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't do this.
On the cateofgaia.wordpress.com site, you get the... I went quiet. Okay. Just a second. Can you guys still hear me okay? Just want to make sure I didn't hear any drop-off, so... Let me see. No, it looks like I'm still there. Okay. There we go. And I see Carol's in the room tonight. Who else we got? Got Nav John there. Miranda. All right. I'm going to bring Miranda in tonight, too, because we're going to talk about pee as well. But I'll bring you in now, Miranda. And, okay, make sure I got you. Yep, there you are. And I'm going to... Hey, I'm going to bring Carol in as well, so you guys can chat while I'm taking care of a little business. Carol, this is Miranda. Miranda, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Oh, as soon as her mic gets open.
Hi, Miranda. Hi,
Kate. Hi, baby love.
Hi, Kate, sweetheart. I hope you're getting warmer weather up there today.
Oh, no, not at all. It's raining, and it's probably about, I'd say about 45 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 10 Celsius.
That's a little more than sweater weather, isn't it?
Yeah, I got my my winter coat on, my short one anyway, so I actually had my long one on last night. So, pee is a very, very popular subject around here because it's your philosopher's stone. Guzzle it up, boys and girls. Open that pineal gland. All right. That's what I want to do. So, Ninja, here it comes. Where are you, hon? There you are. All right. So, carry on.
Hey, Miranda, what country are you in, honey? Are you in England?
I'm in England, yeah. In Kent, so south of London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in California in the States. It's nice to meet you, honey.
Nice to meet you, too.
Thank you. And I'll kind of back out here and let Kate go ahead with... I want to hear his... email.
Me too.
I hope, Kate, you share that with us tonight.
Yes, she will share it with you tonight.
Thank you, dear.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Sound is warbly. Patooey. Okay, now I'm looking at the Love and Stuff room. Can you guys hear me clearly? Just want to make sure that you can hear me clearly. Waiting. I love that dead air thing. There we go. Thank you. Yep. Yes. And that's all we needed. Just a Y works too. It's clear, but I know it can get a little warbly, and I guarantee you tonight's going to be a bit of a hellhole based on what I'm going to be sharing. So Ninja, I shared the document with you, and you can toss that up you're not showing online. Okay. Well, there's that, right? Okay. So you guys want to hear a little magic?
Mhm.
This is my in voice to the universe. Oh, that's why they call them invoices, Kate. Yeah, I know. You see what I mean? They papered over everything, so it's actually so pathetic. But this is a lot of fun because I got round 1 started. I want to put some of the star players on that before I start forwarding it with all their names on it, so media can contact them and ask them questions and stuff. If anyone in the media actually has any balls left. If you want a pair guaranteed to make a judge vow, just ask me because I can hardly wait to get rid of the damn thing. So, but they're guaranteed to make a judge vow. They come with a certificate of authentication and the video in which that occurred. Proof positive. Okay. No giggles, nothing? Oh my God. I thought that was funny.
No, it was funny.
Okay. Just waiting for my word started open. This poor little computer has just had the shit beat out of it today. Hammering the keyboard and trying to get things all set up on Outlook that sucks. Okay. Not loading, nothing on Facebook. Yeah, sorry, Ness. Tonight I didn't get a chance to post the links and what have you, so...
I've done it.
Okay, thank you, hon. Because I've been literally behind the 8 ball, finishing this document today, and of course I had it finished, and I thought, oh shit, I got to put this paragraph in, so it ended up being 2 paragraphs, and but really worth it because it's got some nice meat and potatoes in there. That's the formed vegetarian meat, not the consciousness stuff. Okay, just want to make sure. Anyway, anything Microsoft is absolutely shite. I know. Ask Billy Gates. I wonder if he had trouble as a kid when they referred to him as Master Gates. Just silly questions that Kate has for people. All right, so let me see. Let me get rid of that. This girl needs some air. So let me do this. Okay. And I was going to use it to scroll down, but screw it, I'll just use this. Now, I've got the other, my other computer. That's how close it was coming. It's like, okay, the puppy isn't gonna work tonight. I better get the other one fired up. And lo and behold, I think I was a minute or so late. I was just waiting for the pages to clear. So anyway, I'm rambling, aren't I? I love rambling. That means I'm excited. That's all. It just means I'm excited.
We're very excited. We can't wait.
Yeah.
Bated breath.
Yeah, the summons of the dead. I'm just going to fill up my tea here, and I got to go to this 60 hertz grid. It's been killing me all day here. I hate being inside. I really do. It's great when it's raining and cold and shit, but the instant I can get outside, I'm... See ya. Kind of how it works for me. All right, show this. All right, let's try to move this. Good thing I'm on another paragraph. Okay, you, the dead fiction reading this, actually think you're alive, but I assure you, in the eyes of your masters, you are spiritually dead and claimed as such. Regis Stir. Whereas the attached document will clarify that fully for you. I'm giving you all back your gifts of intention under the universal golden rule, where that which you have wished upon me and countless others will be returned equally, that you may receive your just, self-judged rewards accordingly. With that, I will share with you some of the gifts that will inevitably be coming your way, and most certainly not of my hand or will. That is your own hand of will simply coming upon its own creator as your intent manifested. How neat is that? So, grab your favorite beverage and a mirror. This one is going to take a while to read, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it because it's all about you. Read it or not, I care not either way, since my intent is known by the divine universe and it's recorded under my seal and covenant, where all contracts are made, and only your seething fear of self-realization will keep you glued to this little essay, email, sealed notice, or will have you run away like a scared child that some of you have raped or aided and abetted in their being raped. Let's see if you can be as graceful in your own judgment and trials, tribulations, as I am, while some armed jarhead has his 300-pound boot on your throat, shall we? You call yourselves presidents, prime ministers, lords, ladies, politicians, mayors, police chiefs, priests, popes, kings, queens, and all manner of dead titles, while attaching another name that is a dead persona of the spiritually dead you. You hold the chains of office, posts, ranks, offices, etc. ad nauseum, further instilling your own servitude to another master. It matters not to me that all bar are able to use that crown copyright name, or not, since they are still serving another master, and I'll save your brain cells any of the known details surrounding that. That being said, let's start with the fraudulent land transfer in relation to 7 Dalebrook Place, Guelph, Ontario, Canada, N1E1A7. Using all caps, since we're dealing with cross-jurisdictional invasions material such as UPU/UCC, etc., shall we? To begin with, perhaps you'd like to know some of the main parties directly involved in this little fiasco, where they can see themselves in their own light and perhaps their role in this nifty little fraud. I'll keep it local since most real parties wouldn't make sense to you because you're not used to following anything but your flowcharts of crime. Yes, you're very well trained and very obedient to your programmed ego. Your masters want it that way. Since every city's mayor is a chief magistrate judge in their corporate jurisdiction, they are the ones most culpable since all activities carried out by any of their officers by proxy, since the mayors, is and are the only elected judge in their jurisdiction. But then most people don't know this and are deceived via non-disclosure of this fact into giving up their consent, where I have not, thus no jurisdictional boundaries. Besides, these jurisdictions only apply to the dead fictional name anyway, where most also don't know this, save the few that do, and use this information to steal, rape, and pillage from their fellow man. Now we troops did it again. Okay, at least I've got it where I can. Alright. Now we enter into interjurisdictional folly, where the mayors of Newmarket and Toronto are also involved, since the law firm KRMC is based in both of these cities, where KRMC is the prime go-to robo-signing law firm for matters of this nature. I find it ironic that they claim to specialize in fraud issues, which explains their expertise in committing these acts at the behest of their masters, Crown Church State, and their greed. What is evident by observation here is collusion and conspiracy to commit fraud, etc. That's all by 3 mayors, by of 4 in as omission commission. Every crime committed by any officer, Crown agent, employee, justice of the peace, etc. at all within corporate city jurisdictional boundaries are all answerable by 2 of 4 the highest judicial official, which is the mayor, chief magistrate-elect. Ignorance of the law, divine universal law, is not a defense of or from the law. I'm not speaking of statutes legislation, which only applies to those consenting to a dead crown copyright name. Again, no silly court game is required to expose and see the truth. Nor does the truth require your belief, inasmuch as a crime committed is thus committed, and shown in the actions of the intent after the intent to do so was created. For the more feeble-minded, here's an example of that. If you steal something from another being and you know you're stealing, or not, your intent is known in the act of the theft because you committed the act, and no court is required to prove that which you already know. This is where I leave others to reap the creations of their own intent, where they, by divine law, will experience their manifest intent via the golden rule, i.e., what goes around comes around. Such is the nature of things and creation itself. Since I can only judge and ultimately forgive myself, I cannot and will not judge another. Judge not, lest ye be judged, and I willfully grant your wish to experience your creations of intent. Please note that all dead fictional corporate crown copyright names mentioned herein will only be used as a reference since it is the living soul spirit that is reading this and I'm speaking to, where this list is not as complete as I'd like it to be. It matters not because every entity that ever referenced the aforementioned names, mistaken for me or those living souls alongside that mistaken entity, is implicated by willful knowing, commission, willful ignorance, omission, regardless. All contracts assumed, presumed of, by, for, in, at, as, etc. at all, Crown State, are created in deception, non-disclosure, fraud. Again, what is contained herein does not require your belief, where your obligation is to confront your ignorance, willful criminality, as observed in your actions and confirmed in your own hearts and minds. With the passing of my mother and father, all marriage, crown, church, state, etc. at all contracts are null and void upon their true deaths. Thus render me in clause sextibus toto.
I think we have to remember not to encourage her.
Who, me? No, don't encourage me. I was going to say, that works for Miranda, too, by the way. That's why I questioned that. Who? Me or Miranda?
Probably any of us that come on this line.
Uh-huh. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, it's raining again, too. Cool. Well, it's not raining too bad, so I think I can stand under the cover here. All right. And without further ado, let me see. Now I haven't got a mouse. I'll have to do it this way. Now I've read part of this already. I think people already know that. But let me just do this. Yeah, this works. This is my full willful intent going out on the ether tonight, right now. So it's already been sent. I'll be getting a mirrored copy of it as well. I will have everything reversed. So, and of course, 3 copies of it. Just kind of bitch I am. Did I ever mention everybody? I went to a psalmist once. Somebody reads palms or palmistry or whatever they call it.
Palmistry.
Palmistry, yeah. Anyway, I remember seeing that. I don't know if I ever shared the story, but and she explained it to me, and it was a bit weird at the time because I wasn't really that familiar with it, but it clicked today. Boy, did it click today in a very allegorical sense. Now, that's within me, so the whole point of this only matters to me. But, so I held my hand out to her. She said, give me your left hand. And I said, oh, there you go. And as soon as she saw my hand, she gave a little gasp and sat back. And I said, what, am I going to die? She goes, no, it's just, I've heard of these, I've just never seen one. And it's called a witch's mirror. So it's just the way my, I don't know, the print in my palm, it's a mirror of itself. It's pretty cool, actually. So, witch's mirror, and I kind of, isn't that kind of cool? Right now, and everything, I like to burn witches in the past. I wonder why. Well, because they were dangerous. So, Kate, how are you today? Very dangerous. Here we go. Summons of the dead. Full intent. Then we're going to talk we. Right. Be it known universally that all entities named in this summons are, in fact, dead by virtue of their own free will consent to be that name that is crown copyright. Whereas all who use that name or any variation, title, symbol thereof, thereon, and herein are, in all legal matters, legally and lawfully dead. The use of any all crown-owned copyrighted names, titles, in reference to the claimants of the aforementioned and hereafter is merely for clarification where only fictions, dead persons may commit fraud using such things by virtue... Hang on a sec. It's starting to rain heavy. What is it with... Oh, man. I know, it's crazy. And yeah, I'll have to be... I can wipe that. Sorry, guys. No sooner do I come outside that it was fine and then it starts to rain. Rain's on the righteous, apparently, though, right?
Yeah, and it's cleansing. It
is. You know, even the radioactive, it's actually building up my DNA. I'm kind of excited about that part, too. Yeah. Bitten by a radioactive spider. Okay, so here we go. The use of any... the use of any all crown-owned copyrighted names, titles, in reference to the claimants of the aforementioned and hereafter, is merely for clarification where only fictions, dead persons, may commit fraud using such things by virtue of acts, in relation to any all legal joinder in willful knowing or ignorance of, by, for using such names, and why courts, church, state cannot proceed in any hearing with the living. They are only the dead carrying out the dead. For ease of clarification on your part, I, the living, will clarify your status, the dead, in customary common speak, where my words and intent are mine, under seal, where none may assume alternate definitions of any words herein as anything other than my willful intent. Any ignorance of the facts pertaining to language, langage, tongue pledge, solely yours where sigils are concerned. By one's actions one is known in that act and is fully judged of self, where none other may judge lest they be judged, and where intent is exposed by all acts within self only. In layman's terms, when you commit an act of harm against another by omission and or commission, you stand judged in, of, by, and for the intent that preceded any all acts, in the instant they are created and manifested willfully by the one enacting that intent, where ignorance of universal divine law is concerned, and where the act is recorded eternally. For the less intelligent, loving of you, and the more criminally minded, I will keep this as simple as possible for you, since program minds such as yours may find it difficult to grasp the notion of your own criminality and psychosis. But rest assured, you know in your own heart, and are self-judged accordingly in the eyes of the universal divine laws, that none can trespass. Please keep in mind that some of you included in this message are known pedophiles, thieves, liars, deceivers, murderers, slanderers, kidnappers, human traffickers, rapists, etc., And it matters not that I know this, but rather the fact that your own heart and mirror will prove this to yourself beyond any shadow of a doubt. As an easier and simpler example to comprehend, understand, it matters not to me that a City of Guelph police agent stole one of my father's gifts to me when he passed on, only that the one that did it is guilty and self-judged in that act regardless of all things to the contrary that may be claimed. The simple fact is, it happened, and that act can never be undone. I would love to offer forgiveness to all, but unfortunately, in the act of forgiving anyone, you have judged them as having done something wrong. Judge not, lest ye be judged, etc., as stated previously. Oops, scrolling up too hard here. Oh, I love it.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
Right. You're bloody well right. It's our turn. Anyway, there we go. Talk about fighting to get on air tonight. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah. I want to see if this email went out. Let me see. Yeah, it went. Oh, I love sending out those emails. Oh, me. Yeah, I just handed a big backhoe up the ass of a few government people. That's what I do. It's what I do. And I laugh when I do it because it's fun. Anyway, you guys want to hear what I sent? I've already got my, do not reply at royal.gsx.gov. I believe that is Windsor Castle, yeah. And, of course, there's going to be fails on this one, too, because, gosh darn, those Rothschilds don't like getting an email from me. But, oh well, it's the intent, right? Whether it bounces back or not, I don't care. Oh, look, and looks like someone in Guelph Police got their ass handed to them because they're not on the email list anymore either. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's all about the intent, It's the thought that counts, right? Anyway, there's my no reply at whitehouse.gov. Yeah. Yeah, and that's just the first round. When do you see where this goes? Katie's on a tear. And sorry, guys, I didn't get a chance to post the links tonight. I did send it out through the blog talk. I was a little bit busy with this dragon's breath. So, tell you what. So you guys want to hear what I shared today? I am excited. I'm so excited. Just before we get on the air, and of course I'm watching the sending, because Outlook, by the way, guys, for those that created it, sucks horse dick. It really does. It's slow. It's full of junk. It's full of garbage. Slow upload. You can't type on it. You got to copy and paste everything from a Word document. So, anyway, there you go. So just for the creators of Outlook, you guys need to get a better life or change jobs or something, because honestly, I liked Hotmail. It was fast. It was efficient. You didn't have 1,000 ads popping up every time and try to move down your email list. And, I accidentally hit on one of your ad buttons. Gosh, you'd think that was almost intended. Right, so who else did we get? I went down the list. Of course, all the KRMC lawyers that I sent last year and this year too. They all got a copy, so and a few essays too and some information. So chock full of Katie goodies. Anyway, so let me see. I'm getting into the Love and Stuff room here. For those that don't know what the Love and Stuff room is, it's a Skype room. You need to contact me on Skype. Or if you know someone that's in that room, they can bring you in. Just click and drag sorry ass into the room. But you can get me at katie.renee.thompson, KATIE.RENEE.THOMPSON. Sorry, just thinking of this email. Oh God, I love doing this. Katie goodie bag in an email. Yep, sure is. Yeah. Oh, did I mention the fucking Pope got it too? Looks like I've got a... if you want to drag him into the room, hello there, You got to drag them up to the top part, not into the messaging. Otherwise, well, I'll send them a contact request anyway, because that's 5 planets in the 11th house. I just want everyone in the world to be my friend. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, and they're local. How's that? That's pretty cool. All right, so let me see. And this is Consular Assistance Ottawa. Of course, the British High Consulate would get it. Automatic reply. There we go again. And of course, the Registry Office in Belfast. They got their copy of it, and a little bit of reading, of course, and the entire police board, of course. And as soon as the show is done tonight, as I had mentioned to Maria last week, as well as today, we can do the rollover because I'm not doing the webinars for a while. Just need to take a break and change tack a little bit. Yeah, it's just a lot of pressure that I don't need right now. I got enough shit going on. Thanks. Anyway, yeah. So that was for you, Kathleen. All right. So if you want in there, it's an awesome room, guys. We got some kick-ass angels in there. All yous are, but some are a little bit more verbal and vocal than others. So by all means, contact me on Skype. Skype is free. There is no excuse. Do not be afraid of it. Anne from Seattle called me again today, and she was going down to get her Skype set up because she wasn't quite sure how to do it on her phone or whatever. So make the effort. And once you get in the loop, then we can share documents and all sorts of things. And oh, by the way, Ninja, I am going to pass this document to you right now. So if you've got a few minutes, hon, if you could throw this up already. If you don't know what that means, you will need to shake off your willful ignorance and look it up for yourself and reach beyond your very programmed mind. The bottom line is this. You have been duped into worshiping a false god via literal interpretations of the Bible, which fully explains the chaos of this world. You have been duped by your own greed, ego program, by a system that feeds on your willingness to sell out your beings here to satiate that greed, ego, and make cannibals of you via fiat paper, pay per, currency that is created off the bond obligations called birth certificates, and is the literal skin off our backs. You are a bank account number in the City of London, state. See CUSA bond numbers. You are surety for a bond debt obligation, where your consent to be such is mandatory for the cruise to continue. Please note that this information is given for your benefit and for the benefit of the countless media, law firms, courts, churches, politicians, etc. et al. That are receiving this little gem of truth. Oops, here it goes again. Okay. Let's set the players on the stage, shall we? Let's begin with former Chief of Police, City of Guelph Police Services, Robert Davis, who set out on a campaign of control on Gregorian civil calendar date, May 26, 2010. My paper trails and files are impeccable, by the way, and never mind the countless radio broadcasts and emails, etc., where this information is also saved and recorded for your referencing enjoyment. Thus began a campaign of harassment where even the City of Hamilton Police Hate Crimes Unit joined in the fray after September 1st, 2010, where my exposing the corruption of the entirety of the system you worship was shown in Judge Vows to Sovereign YouTube video. That one is easy to find, in that many millions have seen it, and reposted it, where a simple web search on your preferred search engine will find it instantly. Inasmuch as I am genderless, I present alternate perspectives of my total genre. This harassment also came from officers of many jurisdictions, yet, suffice it to say, all involved are known by their actions, intent regardless, in commission, omission, via knowing and or ignorance, where divine, natural, universal law cannot be trespassed. The entities listed by their dead corporate fictional titles are those most directly involved, and it is only for mere reference for others that need to know them by their actions only. For a quick reference as to why they are, in fact, dead persons, visit any graveyard to see the names of those who never were deemed living by the all-capital money spellings on the tombstone. You are the allegorical zombies or the walking dead so fervently displayed in various forms of programming media, but then you are trapped in the illusions of your masters. All names that follow are connected to the living acting entity it references, acting in their roles accordingly. Mayor Karen Farbridge, Mayor Tony Van Bynen, Mayor Robert Ford, former City of Guelph Police Services Deputy Chief Brent Eden, Wellington County Sheriff, all bailiffs, clerks, justices, attorney generals, boards of police, RCMP, provost marshals, all members of the Law Society of Upper Canada, all bar members, foreign agents, citizens of the City of London State, Vatican City State, District of Columbia State, the Guelph Daily Mercury editor Philip Andrews, all KRMC lawyers, particularly Barbara Dam, handler thereof, Police Constable Craig Nye, attempted murder with intent, me and my daughter, under the orders of former Chief of Police Robert Davis, and who was directly involved in all incidents in the corporation of the City of Guelph. Interesting. All members City of Guelph Police Service by association, various numerous other corporate city police services in collusion association by virtue of their sworn oaths to Crown State Church, former bank manager Nora Detler, Bank of Montreal, Prime Minister Stephen Harper, Liberal MP Frank Valeriot, Governor General David Johnstone, former Pope Benedict, Pope Francis, President Barack Obama, Queen Elizabeth, Windsor, Hanover, Guelph, Rothschild, etc. ad nauseum. If you have ever received my emails notices prior, then it also implicates you and so many more that do not even know of their crimes via ignorance. Oops. There's that non-absolution word again called ignorance, from which no one can escape. There is no dispute in what has taken place. The acts are now eternally known, and there it goes again. There is no dispute in what has taken place. The acts are now eternally known and are owned by the actors involved, where they can only judge, forgive self, where I cannot, lest I trespass on your feeble choice to experience the manifestations of your creations, and experience them you will at some point, where I am neutral. Indeed, the universe works in mysterious ways, and all things for a reason, all things in time. Inasmuch as the metaphorical persona of Pontius Pilate washed his hands, the blood was there forever from its causation. Things you can look forward to enjoying are partially listed as follows, but be assured I know, by observation without judgment, all of which I experienced in the now moment, instant of past, present, future. I give back the gift of having my family torn apart, having my home stolen via fraudulent land transfer and enacted by an armed gang of home-invading thugs called SWAT. Loaded weapons with one in the chamber is intent to commit murder, proven by the full lead ammunition outside your Geneva Convention. My car and truck stolen, being kidnapped at gunpoint not once but twice by non-uniformed and uniformed gang members, robotic automatons respectively, being hounded and tailed incessantly. I back the gift of having thousands of dollars. Please note that any reference to fiat money is only for your limited perspective where true life force, creative energy is concerned, and your lack of comprehension as the money mentioned is, in fact, slave skin, as I explained previously. Thousands of dollars worth of stored food. May you experience someone else helping themselves to your best tools. Scuba gear, coin collections, silver, gold, banknote collection, left to you will, spoken, written. Or how about the brand new laptop stolen the day it was bought and brought to you by a friend prior to the second kidnapping by an armed gang mistakenly claiming to be peace officers. You can look forward to having your bar and wine racks emptied, rolls of coins stolen, your house ransacked by armed goons, and strangers going through